I see.
93.7 WRGG, where portions of our programming are pre-recorded.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Serving Greencastle, Antrim, and southern Franklin County. This is WRGG LP Greencastle.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The White House is defending its decision to deport a man from Maryland mistakenly banished to a prison in El Salvador. Attorney General Pam Bondi says there's evidence the man is a gang member.
He was illegally in our country. He had been illegally in our country. And in 2019, two courts, an immigration court and an appellate immigration court, ruled that he was a member of MS-13 and he was illegally in our country.
Speaking from the Oval Office with the president of El Salvador, President Trump again said courts do not dictate America's foreign policy. Secretary of State Marco Rubio added that the person in question is a citizen of El Salvador and is in the U.S. illegally and was simply sent back to his country of origin. In a court filing Sunday, the Department of Justice said the courts had no authority to force the administration to seek the return of the man. The president of El Salvador says he won't return the man back to the U.S. President Trump says Iran needs to end its nuclear weapons program. Brian Shook with more.
Speaking from the White House, Trump told reporters the talks with Iran will continue this Saturday, but the regime has to get rid of the concept of ever having a nuclear bomb.
I want them to be a rich, great nation. The only thing is, one thing, simple. It's really simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon.
Trump added that he thinks Iran is tapping us along because they were used to dealing with stupid people in this country. Trump claims when he left office, Iran was stone cold broke.
Mark Zuckerberg is defending his company in a major antitrust trial against Meta. He testified in Washington, D.C. yesterday. The Federal Trade Commission accuses the social media giant of creating a monopoly by buying up rivals Instagram and WhatsApp to keep a lid on the competition. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
There was a time when every small town had several local family-owned auto dealerships. Greencastle still has one. Antrim Way Honda, 200 South Antrim Way, just off exit 3 of I-81. Home to a large selection of pre-owned vehicles. Something for every budget. All pre-owned vehicles are put through a multi-point inspection. When you drive away, you'll know your ride is safe and dependable. You may check out their inventory online at antrimhonda.com. And while your vehicle is being professionally serviced, you can relax with some great refreshments in the cafe at Antrim Way. Antrim Way Honda, a much appreciated supporter of community radio, WRGG.
Franklin Hospice, a nonprofit provider of hospice care and end-of-life services, has been licensed in Pennsylvania and is now open to serve patients and their families. This organization also operates Hospice of Washington County, which has built a trusted reputation of quality caring for over 40 years. The team at Franklin Hospice consists of nurses, social workers, CNAs, chaplains, volunteers, and bereavement staff. They will work with the hospice physician and the patient's primary physician to offer a number of services, including managing the patient's pain and symptoms, assisting the patient with the emotional, psychological, and spiritual effects of dying, providing needed medications, supplies, and equipment, coaching the family and caregivers how to care for the patient, and providing bereavement care and counseling to surviving family and friends. Franklin Hospice is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to provide support. For more information, call 717-504-3465 or visit franklinhospice.org, a nonprofit organization.
Right here in hometown Greencastle, you'll find always fresh, home-style salads made the way you like, prepared locally in their very own kitchen. That's Branded Meats and Deli, 102 South Antrim Way in Greencastle. Macaroni, potato, redskin potato, cream slaw, coleslaw, and others. Looking for something for lunch or enough for the entire family's evening meal? You'll find it all at Brandon Meats and Deli. Having a special event, Brandon offers a large catering menu with a wide variety of options, including setup and serving your guests. They are open Mondays 8 a.m. till 3 p.m., Tuesday through Friday 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., and Saturday 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. Brandon Meats, helping to support the programming of WRGG.
From the Mills Brothers to the Beach Boys, from Perry Como to Billy Joel. Well, no matter who your favorite artist is, you'll find them on Journey into Melody with me, Bill Taylor, right here on WRGG from 7 to 9 p.m. every Saturday night.
WRGG weather. Now the weather forecast for WRGG. Showers and thunderstorms today, dry weather tonight through Thursday. For today, windy with a chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, ending in the afternoon, then becoming partly cloudy, high around 60. West winds becoming 22 to 32 miles per hour with higher gusts. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, low around 40. West winds at 13 to 23 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy and breezy, high around 53. Wednesday night, clear, low around 35. And the outlook for Thursday, mostly sunny skies, high around 61. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Currently 57 degrees, cloudy skies in downtown Greencastle. Humidity sitting at 68%. Record high for today, it is scheduled to be... Now, what did I do with that? Oh, here it is. It is scheduled to be 85 degrees. 1960 was the year, second of 2 days for 1960 with the record high. 22 degrees in 1904 for the record low. Normal temperatures for today between 40 and 63. We're at the high end of that one already, so it should be warmer than usual today, and that's what we are expecting. Sun coming up in about 18 minutes, 6:32 in the a.m., 7:49 in the p.m.'s when it'll set. That will give us a collective amount of time of 13 hours and 17 minutes of daylight. Again, temperature is sitting at 57 degrees at 93.7 WRGG.
Ladies and gentlemen, WRGG presents the longest 3 hours in radio, The Morning Show. In the chair to the left, from Montreal, Canada, weighing in at 86.18 kilograms, soaking wet, carrying the torch of the search for the unknown, the master of movie, and the official interpreter for Jackie at the mic, handsome Bill Dorr. And in the chair to my right, from Greencastle, Pennsylvania, at a svelte 212 pounds in his dreams, the sockless wonder, the master of this disaster, Dr. Dr. Greg Hoover.
All right, here we go. Getting the Tuesday started off right. I guess it's starting off right. It's the morning show. We like to think it's starting off right. And
if it's starting, then no.
we always know is we started. So, Bill, I have been here since 4:15 this morning. Got up at 4:15 because I couldn't sleep.
Yep.
And it was I slept too late yesterday, and it really threw me off. And I don't know. So I got up 4:15, and I've got a lot of things done. I'm ready for the show today.
There's that feeling in the air.
Well, I know.
Yes.
I know. I feel
I
good
got
about
here
it.
before the music started.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
What?
I was up at 2:30.
The next thing you know, Mike Ross will be coming through the door.
I know.
Because he's not due to 8, but who knows?
To his credit, he has never been late for this show.
Never been late for this
So,
show.
by the way, anybody out there who's ever organized an event to which he was late, that shows you how much he appreciates your event
compared to
ours.
Compared to
Exactly.
ours.
Yes.
Yes, we're on the top of the charts
Yes.
with him. He'll talk a little bit about what's going on in...
So take that, Waynesboro Chamber of Commerce.
or any Chamber of Commerce, for that matter of fact. He'll be talking about what's going on.
I know I've
in the
shared this
area.
story before, but back when I ran the local chamber, and the only time he was ever on time or even early, he was the speaker.
Yeah.
I remember the one time when he was the speaker at a chamber breakfast. He walked in, he looked around, he said to me, "Oh, this is what it's like to get here before these things start."
Before they start, yes. He'll update us on what's going on in Franklin County, Greencastle, and Antrim. I'm sure that Correll Brothers, Cornings, whatever you want to call it, will come up in the discussion. And but he is going to do a little bit about what we're going to do in the 7 o'clock hour. We are bringing on the Zoom brothers.
I like that. Yes, the Zoom brothers.
Chris and Jason, Zoom. It's their last name now. I changed it. They'll be on and at 7 by Zoom, and we're gonna talk about our number 10-9, our eighth favorite song of our top 10 of all time, our individual favorite songs, and then play those songs. And then Mike will do the same thing when he comes in. He'll one or two of his top favorite songs, and we'll talk about that. That's after the news at the bottom of the hour with him coming up tomorrow. Big week here on the radio program, as always. The Zoom crew. That Jason wants to be called the Zoom crew. Okay.
It reminds me of the old, remember the PBS Kids show, Zoom?
No, I don't.
I
don't
that
forget
was a
that
good
one.
show.
Was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I forget that one. So
they at the beginning, they all introduce themselves.
Oh.
Like, I'm Brad.
And I'm Jason.
And then they do something like a little dance move or something.
Well, that's what these guys can do.
And there was this girl named Annette who would do this weird thing with her arms.
Are you sure it's not the Mickey Mouse Club?
No, I'm sure.
With a net in there. I've seen that show before.
Yes.
So let's see. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It is, let me see what we have tomorrow. Candy Mound tomorrow.
Yes.
On Wednesday. And then Thursday. And then, of course, we'll do our
By the
top
way,
5.
I thought that said a mound of candy.
A mound, no.
I thought, oh, man, thank goodness.
No, not going to be. It's not good for you.
Well, who cares?
So the other day, I'll tell this story briefly because I know Ron is not up yet.
Of course, yes.
And I don't even, well, I guess, where's it at here? I guess we could do this.
And now, time for another Misadventure of Mrs. Hoover.
Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I do that?
So, Ron...
Well, I don't know who that is, but it sounds just like her.
I know it does. On Sunday morning, Rhonda says, I order something for us. I said, oh, did you order pancakes?
You weren't in the car, were you?
No. We're not allowed to eat in the car anymore. I had a lot of criticism on that one from her.
A lot of criticism for sharing the story?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, I've told everybody.
Okay, you told repeatedly.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
Oh, I know.
I still haven't come up with the solution.
I don't want to.
I don't want to get out of the car.
I don't want to get off interstate.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And the idea that has really come up that eventually you'll be able to do that because they'll have drones deliver food to your cars.
Yes.
But Sunday she said, I ordered something. I said, what'd you order? She goes, Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh, nice.
I said, yeah, that sounds really great. And this isn't that bad. I mean, I ate my first one, ate my second one, ate my third one, and she said, now that's enough. I said, "Oh, okay,
you got it. Yeah.
I get it. I ate 3. That's enough. How many?
Well, people don't know she only bought 4.
Well, she bought a dozen.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. Here's bought a dozen.
Uh-huh.
So take my 3 away. That makes 9. Yeah.
Right.
But when she added up, it was only 5. So she ate 4.
Oh, there you go.
And can I even it up? No, you're not allowed to even it up. So, but you ate 4. Yeah, but I did not mean to.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
I did not.
I only meant to eat 3.
That's great.
Yeah, I did not mean to. I can't win for Lucid.
I did not. So that's the best part of the story. I did not mean to.
So tonight is a big day for us. We're going to Baltimore, Jackie Robinson Day. That was her dad's favorite player growing up. He could listen to the Brooklyn Dodgers in Cumberland, Maryland. He could pick up the radio station, and we like to go down that day. And so we're going down tonight for that ball game. It's a 6:30 ball game. Beautiful weather supposedly, and a little wind advisory in effect for today. But we're gonna get warm. It was a beautiful day for a baseball game yesterday as the Greencastle Blue Devil boys lost a heartbreaker 2-1 Northern. The girls won, and John Freeman will have that update at 7:30. So let's get on with the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The John Allison Public House Countdown brought to you by the John Allison Public House, located 155 South Ansel Way in Greencastle. Their doors open up today at 11 a.m. Check out the Facebook page for their specials coming up on Saturday night. Jason Fry will be in the house to be entertainment, so you don't want to miss that at the John Allison Public House. Now it's a good time. Here we go. It is the countdown. It is Tuesday, the 15th day of the month of April. 105 days into the year, 260 days are left. 15 days now to get that car inspected for the month of April. Dixon's and Angeway Honda is the place to go. Now, if you did not know it and forgot about it, today is tax day. Taxes are due today by midnight in the post office. So, and I don't know, I delivered mine this morning at 4:30 on the way in. I had to get gas. I had to put those in the thing. I owe money, so I wasn't going to give them early.
Right. See, that's what I mentioned earlier. I was up around 2 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
Getting ours done.
Oh, okay.
Now, I had gotten the local one done. Of course, that you have to drop off. They still do the little paper one.
Yes.
So I dropped that off yesterday on my way home from work. Dropped it off in Chambersburg.
I don't know what I did with that.
And I got the state and federal ones done this morning.
Yeah. So they're done. They're in the mail. We'll see what happens. But I just want to give you that last warning today. Today's ground zero for tax day. Good Friday is now 3 days away. That's this Friday coming up. 5 days till Easter. And then 10 days now to the bulk drop-off days. That'll be Friday a week, right? Friday a week for that one. If you need more details, go to the Borough of Greencastle's webpage. They'll tell you what you can and cannot bring. At this stage of the game, Bill, and it could change, we are planning on being there with our WRGG remote unit and or taco thing or whatever you want to call it, and broadcasting live from that location just to see what people bring in. Cabler says, Jason Cabler, I didn't mean to call him Cabler, but he says, your local taxes, you should just be able to tell Mike Bach he can pick them up whenever he comes in for the morning show next time. We'll be good till next year, even though he's not really my tax collector, but he is yours, Bill. So you can use that threat upon him. WRGG, let's see, first before that, Cinco de Mayo, that is 20 days away. 23 days away to the G Olympics, and 26 days away from, or 25 days away from the WRGG Shred event. We'll be shredding the day away on May the, let me see where we get this right, May the 10th. And it'll be out at Wise Market in the north parking lot there. The big machine will be there, shaking and a grooving. And you can bring as many, well, you can bring, look, Wade said 5. He's not counting. Or we're not counting. Linda and I don't count. So just bring what you need. Drop them in the box. And it's free of charge. But we would like to have a donation to help keep things going. Mother's Day now 26 days away. 41 to Memorial Day. 56 up for school ending. I got to check that out, make sure that's right. The Drive-By Fund Drive for WRGG, that's our big fundraiser, one of our big fundraisers, I should say. 59 days away. We'll be on the porch Friday and Saturday collecting anything that you want to throw at us. You don't even have to get out of the car. We'll come to you. It is that simple. You can hold up traffic. The mayor's here. He'll take care of it for you. And then on the next day is Flag Day. That's 60 days away. And, of course, that is our anniversary here at WRGG. 9th anniversary, believe it or not. Father's Day sitting at 61 days, 66 days till the first day of summer. Canada Day follows in 77 days, 80 till the 4th of July. Sidewalk sales in Greencastle at 87 days and counting them down. Old Home Week. Wow, this one just keeps going down and down and down. Well, that would make sense. 109 days, 110 days to Florida Keys on the Square, and let's add a couple more days here for Jason 515 days, or 114 days for Jason Cabler. WRGG's big show, Old Home Week show, is 115 days away. That's taking place on Monday of Old Home Week, 7 to 10, out at the Green Grove Gardens. It is the fabulous Hubcaps. Come sing and dance the night away. Food will be available for purchase, and a good time will be had by all. The Square in Greencastle now at 353 days. Hooray! 353 days untouched. 3,807 days we've been on the air. The morning show today, 2005.
Yes!
2005.
Yes!
145 of those days have been.
Oh, yeah!
And now Mike Bach has 43 days left to get 37 days in.
Yes.
Mike Bach is a jerk. He's a really big jerk. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Brought to you by the John Allison Public House, located at 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle. Doors open at 11 a.m. today.
I just want to celebrate. I just want to celebrate. Celebrate, 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 celebrate. It's a celebration. It's a celebration.
Settings, that sort of thing. Using the proper settings in terms of temperature and low side. Yeah, exactly. Also teaching children good laundry habits as well.
This is a day for that.
It's National Purple Up Day. It's in honor of children in urinary. It's National Glazed Spiral Hand Day. It's probably the food item.
Celebration.
Yeah, on a more serious note, National Titanic Day.
It's your celebration.
Wildcats about everything. Yeah, how many cups are in the cupboard or whatever, that sort of thing. And of course, it is National Tax Day. We weren't aware of that.
I'm going to take a wild guess and say this show will be about as funny as it ever is. I don't know where that is going, but
that's a wild guess. It's pretty safe.
I think so too. I don't know.
It's your celebration.
Absolutely nothing.
Grandson of his grandfather was the smartest person he knew, and he goes, no,
not even close. 6:29.
Wake up, you fool.
Sherman, set the Wayback Machine.
Okay, I'm awake.
Peace ended the 7-year-long war with Great Britain. 1870, the first American school in Open Hartford, Connecticut. 1861, a federal army of 75,000 volunteers. 1865, Abraham Lincoln died 9 hours. 1874, the first Impressionist exhibition opened there. Here are Emile Pizarro and 1877, the world's first home comic book was held in Somerville, Massachusetts. 1952, the Stanley Cup Final, the Detroit Red Wings beat the Montreal Canadiens 3-4. Also in 1952, the U.S. Air Force B-52 I thought that was the name of the band.
Yeah, I did know that.
1954, the former St. Louis Browns played the first baseball game in Baltimore and Florida, beating the White Sox 3-1. 1959, the Capitals began the first game. 1964, the Chesapeake Bay was opened. 1971, the 43rd Air Force Best Director, Franklin J. Schaefer. Best Original Screenplay and Best Actor with George C. Scott. Of course, he refused his Oscar. He said that acting shouldn't be something that's judged. It should be something that's enjoyed as an art. 1981, Washington Post writer Janet Cook admitted her Pulitzer Award-winning story about an 8-year-old heroin addict was a lie. 1986, the U.S. launched air raids against Libya in response to the bombing of Berlin's La Belle Disco. 1990, the sketch comedy series In Living Color premiered on Fox. It ran for 5 seasons. 1992, billionaire Leona Helmsley was sent to jail for tax evasion. Remember, she said, we don't pay taxes.
No, we're
the
rich.
Little people pay
Little
them.
people do. Yeah.
1992
She's
as
not
well.
wrong.
yeah. 1992's Star Trek's William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and DeForest Kelley were inducted to the National Association of Broadcasters Hall of Fame. 1994, Tony Bennett recorded a session for MTV's Unplugged, featuring the Ralph Sharon Trio, and guest appearance by Elvis Costello and Katie Lang. The subsequent album won 2 Grammy Awards. 1997, Major League Baseball honor Jackie Robinson, retiring the number 42 for all teams. 2000, NFL Draft Penn State defensive end Courtney Brown was picked first overall by the Cleveland Browns. 2014, the television series Fargo, created by Noah Hawley, starring Bob Thornton, Allison Tolman, Colin Hanks, and Martin Freeman, premiered on FX. 2019, Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris caught on fire, toppling its spire and destroying its roof. Of course, it's since been repaired and reopened. I can't believe that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
And 2022, the Coachella Valley Music Festival returned after a 2-year hiatus with Harry Styles as the headlining act on opening night in front of 100,000 people. And that's our snapshot of this day in history.
Alrighty, that's here's what I have. In 2006, on this date in Salt Lake City, Utah, police officers responded to a report of shots fired from a vehicle pulled up to talk to the suspects only to have them speed away. The police did. Well, perhaps speed isn't the proper term. The goofballs tried to flee but couldn't get their car above 35 miles per hour. In their haste to get away, they had forgotten to release the parking brake. Who puts parking brakes on anymore?
Oh, I know.
I don't get that. I don't get that. But that's what happened. So you're up to date. Coming up, news right here at 93.7 WRGG. Get your first look at the news from Scott Douglas and PA Radio News, NBC News also, and the Jim Vaughn weather forecast. After that, we'll do the world record for today, and we'll talk a little bit about the rocket space thing that went up yesterday. The Blue Origin with a staff of 5 women, or not a staff, but 5 passengers, all women. And William Shatner has something to say about all
yes,
that.
indeed.
We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
WRGG LP. Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The White House is standing by the decision not to seek the return of a Maryland man mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador. Speaking from the Oval Office with the president of El Salvador, President Trump said again, courts do not dictate America's foreign policy. President Trump says he's adamant about Iran never getting a nuclear weapon. Speaking from the White House, Trump told reporters the talks with Iran will continue this Saturday, but the regime has to get rid of the concept of ever having a nuclear bomb. Your taxes are due today, but if you haven't even started or aren't done yet, there's still hope. If you're in a crunch, need to file an extension. The key thing to keep in mind is to file your extension today. That gives you 6 more months. Taxpayers impacted by natural disasters in 12 states will have automatic tax extensions to file and pay their 2024 taxes. Some extensions only apply to certain areas within those states. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Hey, Ben, Having car troubles?
My car's not running right. Me back on the road again.
I know where you can take it. Dixon Service Center, 260 North Carlisle Street in Greencastle. They're beside the Jerome King Playground. Go see Dave and Paul Dixon for all of your complete auto and light truck repairs. These guys have been doing it since 1977. They can do almost anything. On the road again. If your vehicle is giving you troubles, they're the ones to see. Call Dave or Paul at 717-597-2010.
I'm Ben Thomas Jr., and I approved this message.
Dixon Service Center, another fine sponsor making the programming of WRGG possible.
This is a Radio PA news update. The man accused of firebombing Governor Josh Shapiro's mansion wore a snap-on jacket and used gasoline-filled beer bottles to start 3 fires, according to police. Cody Balmer, a 38-year-old with a criminal record and a history of mental illness, slipped inside the mansion on Sunday just hours after a Passover Seder. A locked door may have saved the governor's family. Balmer later turned himself in, confessing to an ex-girlfriend. He's now charged with attempted homicide and denied bail. State police are still investigating the security breach. The removal of Bucko bricks at PNC Park is causing quite a stir. John Schaefer explains.
Pirates owner Bob Nutting is apologizing to fans after the removal of the personalized Bucko bricks at PNC Park sparked outrage. In an email to Trib Live, Nutting took full responsibility, calling the decision to discard the bricks during the off-season disrespectful, a mistake, and wrong. The team sold about 10,000 engraved bricks with personal messages starting in 1999.
Lancaster police have arrested 25-year-old David Pierce in the shooting death of a man Monday morning over on North Mulberry Street. The two men knew each other, but the victim has not been identified yet. Witnesses heard a gunshot and cries for help around 10 a.m. The victim died at the hospital. This incident marks Lancaster County's 4th homicide investigation of the year. Police say charges against Pierce are pending. And Philadelphia Mayor Cheryl Parker is pushing a massive $2 billion housing plan with $800 million funded through city bonds. The Home Initiative aims to build or preserve 30,000 housing units, but some city council members are raising concerns over long-term debt. Meanwhile, Parker argues the investment is urgent and possible thanks to Philly's improved credit rating, which helps secure lower interest rates. The plan would see the city repay the bonds over 20 years. City council approval would be required to move forward. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
Greencastle Ace Hardware is expanding again to serve you even better with a larger inventory of in-stock merchandise to select from. Greencastle Ace Hardware is a locally owned family business with a friendly, knowledgeable customer service staff, always available if you need help when shopping for your hardware needs. Greencastle Ace Hardware is conveniently located at 785 South Washington Street near the fire station. Ace Hardware also offers custom glass cutting, window and screen repair, house and auto key cutting is available. Have a question? You may call Greencastle Ace Hardware at 717-597-7799. Greencastle Ace Hardware is a proud supporter of WRGG.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. You know what today is? The 15th of April? April 5th? No, not tax day. Well, maybe, but do you like sweet Vidalia onions? Well, today is the day you've been waiting for. They are shipping. They've been harvesting and packing for the last week or so. And did you know that the only area legally allowed to grow them is the Vidalia region of southeast Georgia? Vidalia is a town. It can only be called a Vidalia onion if it's grown in one of 20 counties designated by the, listen to this, the Vidalia Onion Act of 1986. It's true. And they grow those delicious sweet onions on more than 14,000 acres in Georgia. You're welcome. In other news, the Waynesboro Hospital Auxiliary has awarded 5 health career scholarships to high school seniors from Waynesboro Area Senior High School and Greencastle Antrim High School, and 1 Pearl E. Warren Nursing Scholarship to an employee at WellSpan Waynesboro Hospital. The students were selected on the basis of their educational intent, scholastic achievement, general character, service activities, and the need for financial assistance. The student scholarships range from $3,000 to $10,000. The employee scholarship is for $5,000. Here's an update now on that shooting in Quincy Township on Sunday night. Pennsylvania State Police say Jack Edward Kugler allegedly shot his neighbor in the leg and shot at the neighbor's 9-year-old autistic son during an argument over lawn mowing at a home on the Menser Gap Road near Tomstown. The injured man was flown to York Hospital for treatment of 2 gunshot wounds. Kugler told police he fired shots in the air but not at his neighbors. He is charged with attempted homicide and other offenses. PennDOT's going to be starting a resurfacing project on I-81 in Antrim Township. It's scheduled to start Tuesday, April 22nd. It extends from the Maryland state line to mile marker 6 in Greencastle. Weather permitting, it begins this coming Tuesday. The contractor will work overnight from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the southbound lanes. Those lanes will be restricted until the project is complete in July of 2027. Scott Douglas, 93.7 WRGG.
Looking for a retirement community close to your hometown? Heritage Retirement Community is in your backyard, located on Shanks Church Road off the Williamsport Pike. Heritage has expanded and has all of the amenities of the big retirement homes in the neighboring towns, but like Greencastle itself, offers you that small town feel. Heritage has it all, from meals prepared by an on-site chef, a hair salon, to a full range of activities on a daily basis. On-site physical and occupational therapy is offered, as well as physician and podiatry services. For more information, go to heritageofgreencastle.com. Find them on Facebook or set up a visit by calling 717-593-0334. Heritage Retirement Community has it all in your own backyard.
Friday nights at midnight, Saturday nights at 10 p.m.
Wax Museum.
Half a century of rock and roll from the back of the rack.
Gee, I hope he gets back before all this dry ice melts.
You don't understand how radio works.
The Wax Museum on 93.7 WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. Showers and thunderstorms today, dry weather tonight through Thursday. For today, windy with a chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, ending in the afternoon, then becoming partly cloudy, high around 60. West winds becoming 22 to 32 miles per hour with higher gusts. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, low around 40. West winds at 13 to 23 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy and breezy, high around 53. Wednesday night clear, low around 35. And the outlook for Thursday, mostly sunny skies, high around 61. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Currently 57 degrees, cloudy skies in downtown Greencastle. Humidity at 69%. Sun trying to come out. It's scheduled to be out, but it's just working real hard to shine upon us right now. 6:32 is when it came out. 7:49 tonight's when it'll assess 13 hours, 17 minutes of daylight. Record high for today, 85 degrees. 1960 was the year. Second of 2 days for 1960 with a heat wave. 22 degrees in 1904. That is the record low for the year. Let's see here. Today, highs around 60. But it's going to get warmer and warmer as we go through the week, I guess. I think that's what it's supposed to do. That's okay by me. 40 to 63 is your average temperatures for this time of year. We're up at the top of the scale for that one. Again, 57 degrees, 93.7 WRGG. Big Tuesday here on the morning show coming up at 7 o'clock, right after the news and weather. The Zoom crew. Zoom crew. Jason Kabler and Chris Palladino join us with their number 8 favorite song of all time. And, of course, Bill and I will have ours. And then at 8 o'clock, it is Mike Ross. We'll talk what we normally do with Mike Ross, and then we'll get to some musical things, some of his favorite songs as well, coming up today on the morning show. Right now, though, it is time for
World Record.
All right, team of 4 pickleball enthusiasts broke a Guinness
World Record
in Texas by playing 36 consecutive hours of matches. The team, who call themselves the Pickle Breakers, took on the record for the longest marathon playing pickleball at Pickler Universe in Carrollton and ended their attempt at 36 hours. The current record is held by a foursome who played for 34 hours, 5 minutes, and 55 seconds in Britain in September 2024. Strange time to quit. 5 minutes and 55 seconds. Evidence from the latest attempt must still be reviewed and approved by the record-keeping organization. Their spokesman, that's what it sounds like. They're tired. It's been a long night. No questions, please. Olsen's husband, Mark, told KWTX-TV the attempt raised over $18,000 for the Taylor's Gift Foundation, a charity supporting organ donation and providing aid to families who decided to donate the organs of their loved ones. Mark Olsen said the cause is very close to his wife's heart, and she also wanted to inspire the couple's daughters. We've got 4 daughters, and she wants to prove to their daughters that she can do anything, and that they can do anything they put their mind to, he said. She's been the kind of person that if there's something she wants to do, she puts her mind to it and gets it done. So they played pickleball for 36 hours. They broke another record along the way, 16 broken bones, 3 sprained ankles, but they would not accept the title for some reason. So there is our
world record
for today. Something to talk about around the water cooler when you get there. Hey, did you hear about that world record? I heard it on the morning show. Yeah, me too. Oh, wow. Anyway, yesterday, 6 women went into space. They're seeing how men are screwing things up here on Earth. You can't blame them, can you? Get me out of here. But it was an all-female crew on the Blue Origin. It launched the flight, marking the first such mission since Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova's solo flight in 1963. The crew included Kate Perry, Gail King, Ashaya Bao, a former Bowie, maybe, I don't know, former NASA rocket scientist, Amanda Guin, a civil rights activist and a bioastronautics researcher, wow, and film producer Carrie Ann Flynn, Lauren Sanchez, Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos' fiance. Of course, she was on it. Flight only lasted about 11 minutes, reached what's the name of the line, Bill? Is it called Kármán? The Kármán line, which is recognized as the boundary of space, 62 miles above Earth. Now, with that in mind, we have a few audios from that I'd like to bring to the forefront here. Let me get these up and running. Oh, come on. I'm taking too long. It sort of ruined all of it. But anyway, here we go. This was, let me see what I can get here. This was Jim Gaffigan on the subject. You know Jim? Well, not personally, but you know
comedian,
Jim?
yes.
Yeah. So here's his take on it.
Who's your favorite billionaire pretend astronaut? Can you believe there's a choice? And it's not between just 2. We live in a day when billionaires are building their own rockets to fly to outer space. And no one's saying, are you sure they're paying all their taxes? Because I know some teachers that need supplies.
Yeah, that was his take on it, and I think he makes some sense there on that one as well. And then we talked about William Shatner. He has a little talk with Gail King. Here it is.
And there's one more thing. Between the time you leave your bed and get to the ship and deal with the press and go up in the air and then come back down and deal with the press, a long time. And there are no bathroom facilities.
We're drifting away.
So they're going to give you diapers.
That's his words of wisdom from William Shatner, one of the greatest space guys in the world. Hey, they're going to give you diapers. Oh, my. And here's the landing of that.
And then next will be the main parachutes that get pulled out.
Hear that screaming inside the capsule?
It's a very soft landing despite the sporty perception. There it is.
Obviously excited to get back to Earth, but that was it. That was from yesterday as everything took place there. So, I don't know what else to say about that. That's about it's about exciting as hearing this guy sing.
Birthday club, the birthday club. Everybody celebrates birthday club on WRGG.
1452 saw the birth of Leonardo da Vinci, Italian Renaissance polymath who was a painter, draftsman, engineer, scientist, theorist, sculptor, and architect. His notebooks contain drawings and notes on a variety of subjects, including anatomy, astronomy, botany, cartography, painting, and paleontology. Da Vinci's paintings include the Baptism of Christ, the Last Supper, and Mona Lisa. 1894 saw the birth of Nikita Khrushchev, Russian politician who served as premier of the Soviet Union from 1958 to 1964. Khrushchev stunned the world with his denunciation of his predecessor, Joseph Stalin. He sponsored the Soviet space program, enacted moderate reforms in domestic policy, and reduced Cold War tensions. Roy Clark, born on this day in 1933. American singer, musician, and television presenter, best known for hosting Hee Haw. During the 1970s, he frequently guest hosted with Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. His songs include Yesterday When I Was Young, Thank God and Greyhound, and I Never Pick Cotton. Clark became a member of the Grand Ole Opry in 1987 and was inducted to the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2009. Elizabeth Montgomery was also born on this day in 1933. American actress, career spanned 5 decades in film, stage, and television. She is best known for portrayal of Samantha Stevens on the television series Bewitched. Other roles include the title character in the made-for-TV film The Legend of Lizzie Borden. The daughter of actor, director, and producer Robert Montgomery, she began her career in the 1950s with a role in her father's television series, Robert Montgomery Presents. 1944 saw the birth of Dave Edmunds, Welsh singer, songwriter, guitarist, and record producer, who formed Rock Pile with Nick Lowe, Billy Bremer, and Terry Williams. His songs include Girls Talk, I Hear You Knocking, I Knew the Bride, and For Small Things, Big Things One Day Come, which was given to him by Bruce Springsteen. The musicians Edmunds has produced include Shakin' Stevens, The Stray Cats, The Fabulous Thunderbirds, and the Everly Brothers. Michael Kamen, born on this day in 1948, American composer, orchestral arranger, conductor, songwriter, record producer, and musician. The films he has scored include Highlander, The Dead Zone, Someone to Watch Over Me, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, The Three Musketeers, X-Men, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, License to Kill, The Lethal Weapon series, the first 3 films of the Die Hard series, and Frequency. Heloise, born on this day in 1951, is Ponce Kia Marcel Heloise Cruz Evans, American writer, author, and speaker specializing in lifestyle hints, including consumer issues, pets, travel, food, home improvement, and health. She took over the writing of the column Hints from Heloise from her mother in 1977. Emma Thompson, born on this day in 1959, English actress and writer, won 2 Academy Awards for Best Actress for Howard's End and Best Adapted Screenplay for Sense and Sensibility, a film. Her other films include The Remains of the Day, Love Actually, Saving Mr. Banks,
Not how you would have done it. You bundle things right, and that saves you up to 10% on your USAA home and auto insurance. Get a quote today.
USAA. Songwriter, guitarist, and record producer. He has co-written 6 #1 country songs, including Kenny Chesney's Never Want Nothing More, Josh Turner's Your Man, George Strait's Love's Gonna Make It All Right, and Luke Bryan's Drink a Beer. His own recordings include Traveler, Broken Halos, and Tennessee Whiskey. Seth Rogen, born on this day in 1982, Canadian actor, comedian, and filmmaker. Originally stand-up comedian in Vancouver, he moved to Los Angeles in 1999 for a part in the television series Freaks and Geeks. His movies include Funny People, The Green Hornet, This Is the End, Neighbors, 50-50, Steve Jobs, and The Fabelman. Emma Watson, born on this day in 1990, English actress. His films include the Harry Potter series, My Week with Marilyn, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Noah, This Is the End, and the live-action version of Beauty and the Beast. She was Hollywood's highest-paid female star in 2009. In 1997, saw the birth of Margaret Constance Maisie Williams, English actress, best known for portraying Arya Stark on Game of Thrones, which was her acting debut. Her other credits include the miniseries 2 Weeks to Live and the films The Falling, Mary Shelley, The New Mutants, and The Owners. But Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
I do. Here they are for today, and a nice big list for today. Allison Marie Sanders Luger is having a birthday today, along with...
I know Allie.
I do, too. Along with Brock Bricker. I know Brock.
Oh, yeah.
Joel Amsley. I know Joel.
Yes, indeed.
Blaine Beam. I actually know Blaine Beam. David Swam and Kathy Brown, and my granddaughter, Bria J. Sprague, having a birthday today. She's 14 years old. Whew. Of course, nice. You know, in our household nowadays, at least every other week there seems to be a grandchild birthday, but that's okay. Sort of like it that way. Philip and Corey Sanchez celebrating, let's see, if it's 19 to 6, I'm doing the math as we go here, 25. That would make sense. I should have been able to do that. And Dave and Beth Lutz is having a anniversary today on the 15th. We do the birthday club before the 7, 8, 9 o'clock news each and every day, Monday through Saturday, right here on the morning show. To get your name, or your birthday, or your anniversary, or anything you want to celebrate, send it. Just go to our webpage, WRGG.org. That will do the trick. The birthday club at WRGG. I'm Greg Hoover. He's Bill Gore. 5 minutes away from introducing Chris Palladino and Jason Kabler. They're coming with their favorite songs, the number 8 songs. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Now, I'm not going to say this is the worst story I've ever read. Yeah, listen, if you have kids like 7 and under right now in the car with you, I don't think they should hear this one, because a chilling incident unfolded in Kansas as a babysitter made a terrifying discovery on Monday night, responding to a child's claim of a monster hiding under the bed. And how many of us have said that to our parents? I still say that to Rhonda. The babysitter bravely investigated, was stunned to come face to face with a man concealed beneath the bed. Law enforcement officials, yes, they were alerted. The police were alerted and brought to the scene, with the babysitter recounted a harrowing altercation when the man was uncovered, resulting in the suspect pushing over both the sitter and the child before fleeing the scene. After an intense search, deputies located the suspect the next day. 27-year-old former resident of the property was apprehended and charged with aggravated kidnapping and child endangerment. That's a terrible story. Worst story of the day.
Wow.
Because you always think there is, and there's never.
Of course.
And
right.
this time,
I can't tell how many times I had to open closets, look under beds.
Yeah. And think about this poor babysitter.
Yeah, exactly. Freaked out by
Can
that.
you please check? Sure. I know there's nothing. Ah!
Oh, my
there
goodness.
it is. So, yeah, that gets credit for the worst story.
I feel bad for the poor guy being startled by the babysitter.
Yeah. I don't know what he was. Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know. Terrible story.
Former resident, huh?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess maybe he still had a key.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. So
Change those
some way to
locks.
get in, yeah.
Change those locks. This story, just an interesting story. A 45-year-old man was arrested after an incident at a Subway restaurant, Merritt Island, Florida. Police say the man argued with employees, expressing his frustration over their attitudes. Well, they're working a Subway. Come on. How many subs can you make in a day and still have a nice attitude? No, they do a good job of that.
No, they do. Yeah,
They really do.
It's funny. One time I accepted a job application from a guy whose previous employment had been at Subway.
Yeah.
And he put down as his position sandwich artist. And I thought, this guy's just being like,
No.
Yeah, that's what they call themselves.
That's what they call themselves, yeah.
That's what they're called.
The situation escalated when he pushed one worker and brandished a knife.
Wow.
He used to work there, too. Authorities tracked down the man, whose name was Edward Cocaine, and arrested him on multiple charges. Now, can that really be his name?
What?
Edward Cocaine. That's what
Now,
it
is it like cocaine spelled differently? And it's
Cocaine, just like cocaine.
That's
Wouldn't you
weird.
think in life somewhere you would change that name?
Yeah, exactly.
To heroin or something? I don't know. I really don't know. Just a strange story.
Wow.
Just a strange story. So, this story here, by the way, I like it too. Researchers say many viewers
Do you like the cocaine one?
No. I mean, I thought it was an interesting
Yeah,
story.
I'm just
It's just
kidding.
because his name was Cocaine. There,
that's weird.
Had that song written about him. Eric Clapton did. I don't know. Researchers say many viewers don't understand what they're told on TV weather forecasts. The researchers from the University of Washington said only half the people understand basic terms like 20% chance of rain. Many think a 20% chance of rain means it will rain over 20% of the area or for 20% of the time period covered by the forecast.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
No.
I never would have thought that.
I would never have thought that too, because that's not how I thought. And speaking of the weather, this is either forward thinking or really just plain stupid. I'm going with the latter. Florida's governor has come out in support of Senate Bill 56, which aims to address concerns about chemtrails, the belief that airplane contrails contain chemicals that alter weather patterns. The bill would make it illegal to manipulate temperature, weather, climate, or sunlight, with violators facing third-degree felony charges and fines. Currently, we do not have a way to control the weather, even though they may think that. I think perhaps, that's what I'm saying, is either forward thinking or just plain stupid. One of the two. And finally, before we go to the top of the hour news, Myrtle, a pet tortoise from Kokomo, Mississippi, was reunited with her family weeks after going missing during a tornado on March 15. The Emanuel family fled their home to escape the storm, only to find that fallen trees had destroyed Myrtle's backyard habitat. After weeks of searching, a neighbor discovered the injured tortoise and took her to the Central Mississippi Turtle Rescue. Wow, Central Mississippi Turtle Rescue. That means they have one in the north and the south, east and the west.
I guess.
For treatment. The rescuer's co-director confirmed Myrtle's identity when the family reached out. Now, I was going to say, I didn't really think that Myrtle could have got too far from that.
Then I'm not quite sure you confirm a turtle's
identity. Had Myrtle written on his shell.
Respond to their voice commands.
Myrtle the turtle. I don't know. It's the morning show right here, 93.7 WRGG. Tax day, my friends, tax day. Get your taxes done, get them mailed in today. That's the only thing I can offer. Not offering to pay, but just offering you to get them mailed in. We'll be back right after the news. Stay tuned.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
From high above the broadcast house in downtown Greencastle, we are WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. The White House is defending its decision to deport a man from Maryland mistakenly banished to a prison in El Salvador. Attorney General Pam Bondi says there's evidence the man is a gang member.
He was illegally in our country. He had been illegally in our country. And in 2019, two courts, an immigration court and an appellate immigration court, ruled that he was a member of MS-13 and he was illegally in our country.
Speaking from the Oval Office with the president of El Salvador, President Trump again said courts do not dictate America's foreign policy. Secretary of State Marco Rubio added that the person in question is a citizen of El Salvador and is in the U.S. illegally and was simply sent back to his country of origin. In a court filing Sunday, the Department of Justice said the courts had no authority to force the administration to seek the return of the man. The president of El Salvador says he won't return the man back to the U.S. President Trump says Iran needs to end its nuclear weapons program. Brian Shook with more.
Speaking from the White House, Trump told reporters the talks with Iran will continue this Saturday, but the regime has to get rid of the concept of ever having a nuclear bomb.
I want them to be a rich, great nation. The only thing is, one thing, simple. It's really simple. They can't have a nuclear weapon.
Trump added that he thinks Iran is tapping us along because they were used to dealing with stupid people in this country. Trump claims when he left office, Iran was stone cold broke.
Mark Zuckerberg is defending his company in a major antitrust trial against Meta. He testified in Washington, D.C. yesterday. The Federal Trade Commission accuses the social media giant of creating a monopoly by buying up rivals Instagram and WhatsApp to keep a lid on the competition. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Earl's Market on the Square in State Line, Pennsylvania, another generous sponsor of WRGG, is still your old-fashioned country store. Famous for their country-cured hams and old-fashioned store sharp real cheese. If you've never had a homemade hoagie from Earl's Market, well, you've never had a hoagie. There's always a whole lot of meat going on with Earl's old-fashioned hoagies. Open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. Saturdays, 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. Earl's Market on the Square in State Line, where their hams are cured, the cheese is aged, and the hoagies are super.
Olympia Candy Kitchen is your Easter shopping spot. This is Tony Pananis, and I'm excited for Easter. Olympia has peanut butter eggs, foiled Easter chocolates, and jelly beans galore. We have dozens of different molded chocolate figures and colorful Easter gummies too. Jellycat plush, toys, books, and puzzles. Olympia Candy Kitchen in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, and olympiacandy.net. Quality makes the Olympia tradition that much better.
Olympia Candy Kitchen, another fine sponsor of the programming of WRGG.
Join Mike Kirshner, your host of On Track with Mike, for all the latest regional asphalt and dirt track racing coverage in the tri-state area. Tune in to WRGG Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. when T.A. Ward Construction of Greencastle presents nearly 2 hours of exciting auto racing news. Todd Ward has more than 40 years' experience, fully insured and military veteran. For all your home improvement needs, you can call Todd at 717-331-4974. The green flag drops for On Track with Mike, Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock on your Sports Connection, WRGG 93.7 FM, and streaming at WRGG.org.
What decade had your favorite music? The 50s? The 60s? Or the 70s? Regardless of which decade had your favorites, we have you covered. We play the best music from the 50s, 60s, and 70s on your good companion station, WRGG 93.7 FM, and on the web at WRGG.org.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. Showers and thunderstorms today, dry weather tonight through Thursday. For today, windy with a chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, ending in the afternoon, then becoming partly cloudy, high around 60. West winds becoming 22 to 32 miles per hour with higher gusts. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, low around 40. West winds at 13 to 23 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy and breezy, high around 53. Wednesday night, clear, low around 35. And the outlook for Thursday, mostly sunny skies, high around 61. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
Currently 58 degrees, still cloudy outside. The humidity has gone to 76%. Record high for today, 85 degrees. We'll be safe from that one as we are expected to get to about 60. 1960 was the year, second of 2 years, or 2 days for 1960. 22 degrees in 1904. That is the record low. 40 to 63 average temperatures for this time of the year. 6:32 is when the sun came up. It'll set tonight 7:49, 13 hours, 17 minutes of daylight. Again, temperatures at 58 degrees. Cloudy skies at WRGG.
Now back to the morning show on 93.7 WRGG.
Welcome back, hour number 2 of the morning show. Good morning, everyone. Greg Hoover, Bill Gore, and Chris Palladina and Jason Cabler all joining us here today as we do our top 10 songs of all time, and we are at song number 8. But first of all, good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Greg.
How are you today?
I'm feeling a little tired, but I'm hanging in there.
All right. Me too. Did not sleep at all last night. I didn't sleep at all last night. Got up at 4 o'clock, came into the station. That's unusual for me because usually it's about 5 after 6 instead of 4:15. But anyway, here we are. Jason Cabler, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Well, I just told you. Were you not paying attention?
I know. I wasn't listening.
You were talking to the empty chair.
Yes. That's what it was. Now, I don't know who all you sent that video to, Jason, yesterday, but I received a video of Jason Cabler using a nail gun. It was scary. It was scary. Oh, you
well, we heard him discuss it. Yes.
Yeah. And shamefully, he lost a couple fingers. So, but
yeah, I need to get with Chris about learning how to play a guitar chord with 3 fingers.
What was that? What I suggested, instead of learning how to replay it, he has a 12-string guitar. Just take a few strings off. Chris, is that you? Chris, can you hear me? You're mute. Let me unmute you. Wait. Ask to unmute. Chris.
Yeah, is there an echo there?
Yeah, there was.
You're breaking up.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. We can rebuild you.
We have the
they said breaking up's hard to do.
Well, I heard that. I've heard that too. So, one thing before we go to our favorite songs. a couple of weeks ago, we had to come up with our all-star band, if you remember correctly. Yes, you remember that? What instrument did I have in my band that took some sort of, what do I want to say, abuse from you guys?
We had the horn section.
No, it wasn't that.
Oh, the
You had
accordion.
an accordion.
The accordion.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Didn't
here
get no abuse from me.
Well, now you get any abuse from me either. I mentioned that the Bodines have an accordion player.
Well,
Yeah.
the Acme Accordion School in Westmont, New Jersey, Acme, I like that, says that Siki is seeing a
Nice.
surge in the popularity of the instrument. However, the school's owner can't really explain why. Enrollment is up. Founded in 1948, Acme Accordion School offers lessons and handles accordion repairs and also sends anvils to roadrunners, I think is the other thing that it does. But
Nice.
I just wanted to say the accordion is making a comeback. There you go. All right. Jason, we'll start with you. First of all, how's the weather down south?
Good. It's actually was decently. It rained last night, but yesterday was about 80 degrees, and it felt amazing. It was sunny, and I think it's supposed to be that way again today. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Excellent.
I like to hear that. So, what is your song, Jason?
So you're going to see kind of a theme in my songs. Number one, I like playing the acoustic versions of songs because it really strips down, because you can add all kinds of effects to studio versions and such. So I love being able to hear more live and acoustic versions like we did last week. So this is a song called These Streets by a guy named Paulo Nutini, which this is another trend. I'm probably going to have a lot of folks and a lot of songs you guys have never heard of.
I think you're just showing off. I think you're just showing off.
Paulo is awesome. He's from Scotland and not the one up by Shippensburg.
Okay, if I'm
and he lived in, he moved to London. And this song is about that. He takes like 5 seconds at the beginning and tells why you wrote the song, and that's it. But I will tell you, I got to see him. He's one of those guys like Tim mentioned. He only comes to the U.S. like every once in a while. Over in England and stuff like that, he plays for like Wembley Stadium and such. But here, he's just not as well known. And I got front row. I'll have to send you a video of. I was front row at one of his shows. He actually jumped down. I totally fangirled because he shook my hand. It was a blast. Totally fangirled. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But
I always like the expression Jason used. I got to see him. Did you, Jason? Did you?
He actually walked up to my face, so I actually did get to see him this time. And it was a very intimate venue. So this is a song called These Streets by Paulo Nutini.
Thanks for sharing.
What's that?
Yes.
Yes. Here we go. Well, there's a little introduction there in the beginning.
Yeah, he just tells you why he wrote it, because he moved to a big city. And I actually moved to Nashville.
It's just a change. Like difference between them both. So it's called These Streets.
And moving from Greencastle to Nashville, I also, this very much fit in.
Cross the border into the big bad world where it takes you by an hour just across the road, just to stumble across another poor soul from the dreary old lanes to the high street bands. I fight with my brain to believe my eyes, and it's harder than you think to delay the sadness that creeps up my spine and haunts me through the night. Life is good and the girls are gorgeous. Suddenly the air smells much greener now, and I'm wandering around with a half-pack of cigarettes, searching for the change that I've lost somehow. These streets have too many names for me. I'm used to Glenview Road and spending my time down in Northgate. I'll get used to this eventually. I know. Where did days go when all we did was play and stress that we want? There wasn't stress at all, just a run and a jump into a harmless fall from walking by right to a landmark square. You see millions of people, millions of cares, and I struggle to the train to make my way home. I look at these people as they sit there alone. Life is good and the sun is shining Everybody floods to their ideal place, and the children all smile as the boats shuffle by them, trying to pretend that they've got some space. These streets have too many names for me. I'm used to Glenview Road, spending my time down in Northgate. I'll get used to this eventually. I know these streets have too many names for me. I'm used to Glenview Road, spending my time down in Northgate. I'll get used to this eventually. I know life is good and the girls are gorgeous. Suddenly the air smells much greener now when I'm wandering around with a half pack of cigarettes, searching for the change that I've lost. Somehow these streets have too many names for me. I'm used to Glenview Road, spending my time down in Northgate. I'll get used to this eventually. I know these streets have too many names for me. I'm used to Glenview Road, spending my time down in Northgate. I'll get used to this eventually. I know. You keep telling me so.
Jason, I got to give you credit. Another great song.
Hold on, before you pay for yet another app to manage your team, let me introduce you to Connect Team, the one platform.
Recorded that.
That was beautiful.
18 years old when he recorded that.
Wow. Yeah. Very good. You were what, 18 when you wrote Birthday Club, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
So, very good. All right. We turn.
It's incredibly relatable, too.
It is. Yeah. Too many streets in this place. I like that one.
Yeah, very personal.
Yes,
indeed. And I know from my perspective, Jason, it was the opposite. You know, moving from a larger area to a smaller one, but there's still that change you have to get accustomed to.
Yeah, right. Everyone in your business.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Lisa Parsons says that was a beautiful song, and I agree. It was a really, really great song. Cool. Good choice. Good choice. Number 8 on the list for Jason Kabler's top 10, and we move to Chris Palladina's top 8 song, number 8 song.
Yeah. Am I breaking up now? Am I coming in?
No, you're better now. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, good. You know, every once in a while, a song comes along that I have to put on repeat play, and because there's something about it that intrigues me that I have to do multiple listenings, and this is one of those. Walk Away Renee by the Left Bank. There was a little bit of a precedent in pop music. Where bands, rock and roll bands, started to use string sections and classical arrangements. For instance, like the Beatles with Yesterday or Eleanor Rigby, the Rolling Stones, As Tears Go By, and the Troggs, Love Is All Around. So it's not beat music anymore. It's a little bit more adult, maybe. And this song has such beautiful lyrics. Written by Michael Brown, Bob Khalili, and Tony Sansone from the Left Bank. The lines that really strike me are, don't walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. The empty sidewalks on my block are not the same, but you're not to blame. So he's accepting blame for this, this tragic breakup. And then the line that always gets me, it's kind of like that analogy in Blade Runner where the tears are analogous with rain. And he says, now as the rain beats down upon my weary eyes, for me it cries.
Right.
And that's the line that just hits me right in the chest.
Absolutely.
Another sad song from Chris Palladina.
And a favorite of mine as well.
Yeah, here it is. Walk Away, Renee from the Left Bank. What happened? I was ready to hit it, and something came up. Hold on. Here we go.
upon a wall. Still finds a way to haunt me. Oh, they're so small. Just walk away, Renee. You won't see me follow you back home. The empty sidewalks on my block are not the same. You're not to blame.
Very nice. I always loved that
Very
song.
nice.
Me too.
I really did.
The
yeah.
line that always got me was "Your name and mine inside a heart upon a wall." That permanent reminder of what's ended.
I'm going to go cry. I'll be right back. That's
That's a new one for me.
Yeah,
That's a new one for me. I like it.
You never heard it before?
Oh, wow.
No.
Seriously?
I like it.
Where
Yeah.
have you been, young man?
It's been covered a few times, including the Four Tops had a big hit with a remake of it, and then Southside Johnny and the Jukes did a copy of it as well.
Wow.
And I'd like to hear that. I haven't heard that one.
Yeah. Great song. Great song.
Yeah.
Oh, what year was it?
66.
66. There you go. All right. Bill, we turn our attention to you.
Mine is also one from the 1960s. It's Kathy's Clown by the Everly Brothers. This is one that was written by Don Everly. You might recall when we did our top 5 favorite concerts. Everly Brothers were on my list. Top 5 favorite breakup songs. This song was on that list. They were also my E when we did our Desert Island Discs. Yes, Kathy's Clown came in 1960, written by Don Everly. Interesting thing is it begins with the chorus. There are no verses, just bridges between the repeating of the chorus. Phil and Don, of course, who were just amazing with harmonies, harmonize on the chorus. Don covers solo on the bridges. But when you listen to the song, this really hits you when you know this. They recorded it live in one take, sharing a microphone. And then the drum was actually a solo drummer, but they used a loop to make it sound like 2 different drummers. And this was one of their biggest, actually their biggest, at 8 million copies sold worldwide, #1 for 5 weeks on Billboard. This is Kathy's Clown by the Everly Brothers.
Yeah.
After that, they were able to afford a second mic.
Well, one thing I wanted to mention about this I always listen to this is you cannot tell the different line and the harmony line because they switch off.
Yes.
And typically, I think it's Don, the dark-haired guy, does the higher harmony. Typically.
Yes.
Bill, Chris, we keep losing you just a little bit there, but don't know why. But
I'm still stuck in a closet. That's why.
That might be it. That might be it. It has something to do with it. So here's Kathy's Clown, the Everly Brothers. There you are, Bill. Very,
Yes, sir.
very. That's a great
Nice.
song too.
Good
Really
pick.
is.
Yeah, some of the nicest harmonies I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yes.
It really is. So I guess it's my turn as we get down to the bottom of the hour. Mine, I heard a country band that I was listening to in concert one time, and they did this song, and I knew the song, but I fell in love with it. I guess I'm going to say again. It's a song that was recorded live in 1981. Wasn't really released until a Family Ties incorporated into one of their shows, and it became number one in 1987. It's a great scene. Alex and his girlfriend, they're breaking up, and the question is asked, what did you think I'd do at this moment?
Yeah.
And not only that, but I love the song, I love the story, and there's a great sax solo in it as well. So it's Billy Vera and the Beaters. Billy started writing songs in the 60s. He's 80 now, still performing with his band, Billy Vera and the Beaters, and I'm sure they're doing this song over and over again, but here's At This Moment. Well, I thought it was. Here we go. You know how that goes sometimes here.
I do. I love it.
It's hip, it's cool, but look closely on the box. It says right there, made in China.
New data shows the mark. Skip. I got her now. And the singing in this, gee whiz.
What did you think I would do at this moment when you're standing before me? Tears in your eyes, trying to tell me I found you at another, and you just don't love me no more. What did you think I would say at this moment when I'm faced with the knowledge that you just don't love me? Did you think I would curse you, say things to hurt you, but you just don't love me no more? Did you think my hands to you? Now come on, you know me too well. How could I hurt you when, darling, I love you? And you know I'd never hurt you. Oh, I would give at this moment. If you'd stay, I'd subtract 20 years from my life, and I'd fall down on my knees, kiss the ground that you walk on. If I could just hold you again. You walk on, baby, if I could just hold you, if I could just hold you, if I could just hold you.
That is Billy Vera and the Beaters.
Great
yeah.
song.
A great
Yes,
song.
indeed.
You know, I talked about whoa. I talked about the saxophone solo. There was 3 sax playing in that song right there. So and I think that's what the world needs, more sax. And so it was demonstrated.
Sax and violins. There's too much sax and violins on our TV today,
Yeah, that's
Greg.
right. There really is. So,
Have you guys seen TED 2?
yeah, about the teddy bear.
I have
There's a scene where he's basically trying to prove that he is not just a toy, and the lawyer says, so you're saying you have soul? He says, let me answer it like this. What would you think? And then he did that, and the lawyer goes, objection, and the judge went, overruled. It was awesome.
You know, I think today's
Bad connection.
Chris is going robotic.
He is.
Sounds like the beginning of a Who song.
It's either that or what was the? No, it's a bad.
I think he's good now.
You all right now? Go ahead, say that over again, Chris. Now he's not good.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Now he's one word at a time. I don't know.
You're what, Chris? You're what? Come on.
Come on. Blink if you need help.
He's sitting too close to the paint.
Connected to the airwaves. Great.
I don't know what in the world. Is he?
Something about being a sentimental old fart?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Or he's having a heart attack? I'm not sure which.
What's the guy on the guy in the wheelchair from Big Bang Theory? The professor or the genius? That's who you sound like.
The guy who wrote, yes.
Have to do charades.
Yeah. Sounds like old part. No. Well, gentlemen, thanks. I'll tell you what, always a lot of fun. Great selections, by the way, as always.
And nice Stephen Hawking impression.
Yeah, that's what it is. Stephen Hawking.
Thank you.
And we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll do our top 5 sports teams. That should be fun. Hopefully, Chris will be in a better location. He won't be.
Couple of things to note. Billy Vera's mother was actually a backup singer for Perry Como.
Oh, really?
And, of course, the actress who played his girlfriend on Family Ties is his wife.
Oh, that's
now.
Now. They
got
Tracy
Pollan.
Tracy Pollan, yeah.
Pollan, yeah.
Well, she has a little pollen problem. I get that. So,
all right, guys. I will see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to you guys tomorrow right here at 93.7 WRGG. Go to let's see what's going on now. How comes nothing ever works when here we go. There we go. See you guys. It is the morning show coming up. Stupid is, Stupid does. The birthday club again. And then Mike Ross joins us in the radio program. Yes. It's coming up. Don't go away.
You make Ryan with Harry Met Sally?
Listening to the morning show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
We are GA. We are WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump says the suspect in the arson attack at the Pennsylvania governor's residence last weekend was, in his words, probably just a whack job. The president made the comment to reporters Monday. Court documents reportedly state that 38-year-old Cody Balmer expressed hatred for the Democratic governor, Josh Shapiro. It's April 15th, and that means it's tax day. If you're in a pinch, you need to file for an extension before the end of the day. That'll give you 6 more months to file. A family-owned jewelry store in downtown L.A. is out $20 million in merchandise after a robbery. More from Mark Mayfield.
The incident happened sometime overnight Sunday into Monday The shop owners say the thieves got in by cutting through the wall of a vacant store next door. They were also able to disable the security cameras and alarm. The thieves made off with large amounts of cash, gold bars, and jewelry.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Gano Paving Incorporated, locally owned and operated for over 48 years, offers commercial and residential paving, commercial and residential seal coating, plus line striping, excavating, and utility work. No job is too big or too small. Licensed in Pennsylvania and Maryland, you may call Gano Paving at 717-597-2567 to make an appointment for a free estimate. Check their website. Follow them on Facebook. A proud sponsor of WRGG. Gano Paving is located at 1455 Buchanan Trail West, Greencastle, Pennsylvania.
This is a Radio PA news update. The Trump administration is freezing over $2.2 billion in grants and $60 million in contracts to Harvard after the university refused demands to curb campus activism. Harvard President Alan Garber said the school won't sacrifice its independence or constitutional rights. The government is pursued for changes to admission, club recognition, and student views on diversity. Critics say the move threatens academic freedom, while a lawsuit now challenges the cuts under federal law. A Cumberland County deputy sheriff has been charged in connection with a crash that injured a 71-year-old man last year. Investigators say 30-year-old Ian Green of Carlisle was speeding in his work vehicle when the car crash occurred around 6 p.m. on April 15th of 2024. Green is now facing multiple charges, including felony aggravated assault by vehicle, misdemeanor reckless endangerment, and several traffic violations. Authorities say the crash left the elderly man with serious injuries. A Center County judge has denied Penn State trustee Barry Fenchak's bid to appear on the alumni election ballot. Fenchak was disqualified by a board subcommittee, which he challenged in court. Judge Brian Marshall ruled the board acted lawfully, and Fenchak's free speech claims did not hold up. The board cited inappropriate behavior and past conduct as reasons for his disqualification. Fenchak can still be voted for as a write-in. Ballots go out on April 21st, and results will be announced on May 9th. And new data from the Administrative Office of Pennsylvania Courts reveals 4 southeastern Pennsylvania counties amongst the top 10 for distracted driving offenses from 2020 to 2024. Montgomery County leads the way with 839 cases, followed by Chester with 569, Berks with 536, and Delaware with 522. The most common offenders are people in their 20s, and violations peak between 10 a.m. and noon. Texting while driving, including reading and writing messages, carries a $50 fine plus court costs. I'm Juan Arango, and you're up to date with Radio PA.
You'll want your place looking its very best. Mark's Lawn Care is ready to help. Mulch, decorative stone, gravel, and topsoils are available at the lower level of 400 North Antrim Way. You may web order at markslawncare.org or call in and order for no contact of customer with employee service. Delivery can be arranged. At location pickup is available Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays 8 till 2. For all your landscaping needs, it's Mark's Lawn Care, North Antrim Way, Greencastle.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. You know what today is? The 15th of April? April 5th? No, not tax day. Well, maybe, but do you like sweet Vidalia onions? Well, today is the day you've been waiting for. They are shipping. They've been harvesting and packing for the last week or so. And did you know that the only area legally allowed to grow them is the Vidalia region of southeast Georgia? Vidalia is a town. It can only be called a Vidalia onion if it's grown in one of 20 counties designated by the, listen to this, the Vidalia Onion Act of 1986. It's true. And they grow those delicious sweet onions on more than 14,000 acres in Georgia. You're welcome. In other news, the Waynesboro Hospital Auxiliary has awarded 5 health career scholarships to high school seniors from Waynesboro Area Senior High School and Greencastle Antrim High School, and 1 Pearl E. Warren Nursing Scholarship to an employee at WellSpan Waynesboro Hospital. The students were selected on the basis of their educational intent, scholastic achievement, general character, service activities, and the need for financial assistance. The student scholarships range from $3,000 to $10,000. The employee scholarship is for $5,000. Here's an update now on that shooting in Quincy Township on Sunday night. Pennsylvania State Police say Jack Edward Kugler allegedly shot his neighbor in the leg and shot at the neighbor's 9-year-old autistic son during an argument over lawn mowing at a home on the Menser Gap Road near Tomstown. The injured man was flown to York Hospital for treatment of 2 gunshot wounds. Kugler told police he fired shots in the air but not at his neighbors. He is charged with attempted homicide and other offenses. PennDOT's going to be starting a resurfacing project on I-81 in Antrim Township. It's scheduled to start Tuesday, April 22nd. It extends from the Maryland state line to mile marker 6 in Greencastle. Weather permitting, it begins this coming Tuesday. The contractor will work overnight from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the southbound lanes. Those lanes will be restricted until the project is complete in July of 2027. Scott Douglas, 93.7 WRGG.
Sometimes that latest technology designed to make life easier actually causes deep frustration when you just can't make it work. It's Stoller Technologies to the rescue. Sean Stoller will come to your home, office, or business offering computer repair, help with wireless security systems, smart TV setup, teaching, and education. If it's electronic technology, Sean Stoller is the name to remember. Stoller Technologies may be reached by email at stollertechnologies@gmail.com or by phone at 814-767-0311. Sean will explain the how and whys of the process, teaching you how to make the use of those devices fun again.
Here's a look at local sports with John Freeman.
The Blue Devil softball team powers their way to a victory over a Colonial Division rival. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports. Brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community. Home runs from Caroline Logsdon and Meadow Gambacurta lead the Blue Devils to an 8-3 victory on the road over Northern York yesterday. Trailing 1-0 in the third inning, Logsdon hit a 2-run homer to give Greencastle the lead for good. The Blue Devils scored 3 runs in the 5th and 3 more in the 6th when Meadow Gambacurta hit her 4th home run of the year, a 3-run shot to put the Blue Devils up 8-3. Greencastle improves its record to 8-1 on the season, a perfect 6-0 in the Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division. Meanwhile, the Blue Devil baseball team came out on the short end of a 2-1 score yesterday to Northern York. Northern scored the game-winning run on a sacrifice bunt in the 7th inning. The loss ends a 3-game winning streak for the Blue Devils as they fall to 5-3 on the season, 4-2 in the Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division. Elvin Robles had 2 hits in the game for Greencastle in a losing effort. Both the Blue Devil baseball and softball teams will be back in action later this afternoon. The girls will be at home hosting West Perry, with first pitch for that game scheduled for 4 p.m. The game will be broadcast live on 93.7 FM, WRGG, and streaming at midpennbroadcasting.com, beginning with the pregame show around 3:45. Meanwhile, the baseball team will also be in action as they make the long trip to Elliotsburg to face West Perry in a game scheduled to get underway at 4:30. That's a look at sports for a Tuesday. Have a great day, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports. Brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community.
WRGG does better than good. We play the best music from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Right here on your good companion station, 93.7 FM, and on the web, WRGG.org.
And a big Panama with the Purple Hat Band. WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. Showers and thunderstorms today, dry weather tonight through Thursday. For today, windy with a chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, ending in the afternoon, then becoming partly cloudy, high around 60. West winds becoming 22 to 32 miles per hour with higher gusts. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, low around 40. West winds at 13 to 23 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy and breezy, high around 53. Wednesday night, clear, low around 35. And the outlook for Thursday, mostly sunny skies, high around 61. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
59 degrees, cloudy skies in downtown Greencastle at 93.7 WRGG on the web at WRGG.org. Greg Hoover, Bill Gore, thanks for tuning in. We're about 15 minutes away from the one, the only Mike Ross joining us here on the radio program. He'll be here from 8 to 9 as he usually does on the third Tuesday of the month. Speaking of that, that means it's the third Thursday of the month coming up, and we'll be at Lumber Direct, and that will include Vernon's Magical Shopping Cart of Savings. I do not know what he has in store for us on Thursday, but it's always a treat. 7:30 to 10 o'clock, that's where we'll be. Stop down and say hello, and altogether, we'll have a good time. I think that's how that worked out. As I mentioned, Bill, I'm real excited tonight.
I hope it works out.
I hope it works out. One never knows.
That would make for really bad radio if we went down there and had a bad time.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
according to Chris Palladino, that'd make for great radio.
Great radio, yeah.
He loves those moments he keeps telling us.
I know, doggone him. So I'm excited going to Baltimore tonight to see the Orioles. Was the last time I was down was a year ago on this date.
Yeah, I remember.
And,
yes, indeed.
Yeah, so
that's a big deal.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's a Jackie Robinson Day down there. So excited for that. We'll be down. Hopefully the O's start turning things around, start playing a little better. I hope.
Last time I stepped in a baseball field, I got tased.
Well, and so stay away from that stuff, and you'll be better off. So, let's see here. Here we go.
Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
Stupid is as stupid doesn't. Stupid is as stupid does, sir. Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
And people are crazy. They are. They're just downright stupid. Here we go. Number one today. 3 women from Rochester, New York eventually skipped out on a $200 plus bill at a Chicago eatery during a birthday celebration. The trio left one by one within 30 seconds after their server stepped away, but were easy to track down because they provided their names and phone numbers on the wait list before being seated. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Adding insult to even more injury, the woman reportedly bragged about their theft on social media, even tagging the restaurant and thanking them for the free food. Idiots. Good. Glad you got caught. Number 2, in Sweden, a man wearing a ski mask used a gun to hold up a store. Then he ran out and got onto a bus. When the police...
That's like the best getaway
ever. Yeah, it's okay if you're watching. If it's Speed, the movie,
it's only going to stop like every 2 blocks.
Police are down to the next one, waiting to get on. Basically, that's what happened. When the police investigated, they tracked down the bus, pulled it over, grabbed the only passenger on board, and took him in for questioning. The man claimed he had nothing to do with the crime and was upset because he had left his backpack on the bus. Police showed him a backpack that the driver had turned in and asked if the suspect if that was his. He said yes, it was, and seemed relieved to have it back until the cops opened it up and found a ski mask and a gun. So he was done. Number 3, a thief stole 25 shoes, but he got a little less than he or she bargained for after realizing they were all for left feet. The robber threw away the haul in disgust after breaking into a car in Norway and finding a case full of women's shoes, but no pairs. It belonged to a salesperson who traveled with only one shoe of each type. Just in case someone steals them, he'll know. Now, this is stupid as stupid does, but it's I didn't realize how serious this could be. A man in China was hospitalized with a severe cough and bloodshot eyes, leading to a diagnosis of fungal lung disease. Medical examinations revealed shadows in his lung, and a bronchoscopy confirmed the presence of an infection. The man then admitted to regularly smelling his dirty socks, which were found to contain traces of the fungus.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, that's stupid, but at the same time, it's scary, isn't it?
Why is he smelling this? We gotta go. That's weird.
That's really weird.
And how are his socks that bad? He's getting a fungus from them.
I don't know.
Too many questions.
Too many questions. I know.
And none of the answers seem to be good.
It can't be good.
No.
Yeah. Number 5. A con man in Portugal needed a way to evade the women he had duped for over the years, so he asked his dad for help. Man had conned numerous women out of thousands of dollars, and so to put an end to the problem of having a bunch of angry women after his father claimed he died and held a fake funeral. Police uncovered the fake death during their investigation. And number 6 today, the last one in Spain. A cleaning lady was doing her job in a home when she noticed what looked like a nice new candle. She thought it was pretty, so she put it in her bag and took it home. That's stealing, of course, and then karma came very quickly. The night she lit the candle, and it was more than a little surprise when it exploded. Turns out she hadn't stolen the candle, she had taken a firecracker. The table it was on was damaged, but otherwise, the cleaning lady was okay. All right, here we go. Back to the top. Let's review them once again. Number 1, women accused of dying in Dash left their names, phone numbers, and even bragged about it on social media. Number 2, robber with a mask and a gun robbed the store, then got on a bus. Get on the bus, Gus. But I think you need a new plan, Stan. Yeah. Number 3, thief gets only left shoes. Number 4, man develops fungal lung infection from sock-smelling habit. Whew. Number 5, the con man caught after a fake funeral, wanted to get away from the women that he took money from. And number 6, thieving cleaning lady learns a lesson. Don't take the candle. It could be a firecracker. Well, that being said, give you a chance to think them over and go from there. We're going to go to the birthday club one more time. This is the middle one. We got another one after this one, but right now it's time for the birthday club. If you know how to get a hold of me, do so. You can get a hold of us by studio at WRGG.org or calling us or texting us at 717-444-WRGG. 1 through 6. Let us know which one is the stupid one for today.
Birthday club, the birthday club. Everybody celebrates the birthday club on WRGG.
We are starting back in 1452 with the birth of Leonardo da Vinci, Italian Renaissance polymath, which means he was a genius in many areas. He was a painter, draftsman, engineer, scientist, theorist, sculptor, and architect. His notebooks contain drawings and notes on a variety of subjects, including anatomy, astronomy, botany, cartography, painting, and paleontology. Da Vinci's paintings include the Baptism of Christ, the Last Supper, and Mona Lisa. Nikita Khrushchev, born on this day in 1894, Russian politician and served as premier of the Soviet Union from 1958 to 1964. Khrushchev stunned the world with his pronunciation of his predecessor, Joseph Stalin. They call it de-Stalinization. He sponsored the Soviet space program, enacted moderate reforms in domestic policy, and reduced Cold War tensions. Roy Clark, born on this day in 1933, American singer, musician, and television presenter, best known for hosting Hee Haw. During the 1970s, he frequently guest hosted with Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. His songs include Yesterday When I Was Young, Thank God and Greyhound, and I Never Pick Cotton. Clark became a member of the Grand Ole Opry in 1987 and was inducted to the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2009. 1933 also saw the birth of Elizabeth Montgomery, American actress whose career spanned 5 decades in film, stage, and television. She is best known for her portrayal of Samantha Stevens on the television series Bewitched. Other roles include the title character in the made-for-TV film The Legend of Lizzie Borden. The daughter of actor, director, and producer Robert Montgomery, she began her career in the 1950s with a role in her father's television series Robert Montgomery Presents. Dave Edmunds, born on this day in 1944, Welsh singer, songwriter, guitarist, and record producer, who formed Rockpile with Nick Lowe, Billy Bremer, and Terry Williams. His songs include Girls Talk, I Hear You Knocking, I Knew the Bride, and From Small Things, Big Things One Day Come, which was given to him by Bruce Springsteen. Springsteen actually showed up at a concert and handed it to him backstage. The musicians Edmunds has produced include Shakin' Stevens, the Stray Cats, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, and the Everly Brothers. Michael Kamen, born on this day in 1948, American composer, orchestral arranger, conductor, songwriter, record producer, and musician. The films he has scored include Highlander, The Dead Zone, Someone to Watch Over Me, The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, The Three Musketeers, X-Men, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, License to Kill, the Lethal Weapon series, the first 3 films of the Die Hard series, and Frequency. Heloise, born on this day in 1951, is Ponce Kia Marcel Heloise Cruz Evans, American writer, author, and speaker specializing in lifestyle hints, including consumer issues, pets, travel, food, home improvement, and health. She took over the writing of the column Hints from Heloise from her mother in 1977. Emma Thompson, born on this day in 1959. English actress and writer who has won 2 Academy Awards for Best Actress for Howard's End and Best Adapted Screenplay for Sense and Sensibility, a film in which she also starred. Her other films include The Remains of the Day, Love Actually, Saving Mr. Banks, and the Harry Potter series. Thompson has also written 3 Peter Rabbit children's books. Chris Stapleton, born on this day in 1978. American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and record producer. He has co-written 6 #1 country songs, including Kenny Chesney's Never Wanted Nothing More, Josh Turner's Your Man, George Strait's Love's Going to Make It All Right, and Luke Bryan's Drink a Beer. His own recordings include Traveler, Broken Halos, and Tennessee Whiskey. Seth Rogen, born on this day in 1982. Canadian actor, comedian, and filmmaker. Originally a stand-up comedian in Vancouver, he moved to Los Angeles in 1999 for a part in the television series Freaks and Geeks. His movies include Funny People, The Green Hornet, This Is the End, Neighbors, 50-50, Steve Jobs, and The Fabelmans. Emma Watson, born on this day in 1990. English actress whose films include the Harry Potter series, My Week with Marilyn, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Noah, This Is the End, and the live-action version of Beauty and the Beast. She was Hollywood's highest-paid female star in 2009. Constance Maisie Williams, born on this day in 1997. English actress best known for portraying Arya Stark on Game of Thrones, which was her acting debut. Her other credits include the miniseries 2 Weeks to Live and the films The Following, Mary Shelley, The New Mutants, and The Owners. But Greg, I think you have the real celebrity birthdays for us.
Of course I do. So if I turn my microphone on, it works very well that way. Kathy Brown celebrating today on the 15th day of April. Dave Swam as well. Blaine Beam having a birthday today. Joe Amsley celebrating, I bet he's 69. Brock Bricker, or maybe 70. I don't know. No, 69. I'm going to go with that. Brock Bricker with a birthday today. Bria J. Sprague, my granddaughter, turning 14 today. Happy birthday, Bria. And Allison Marie Sanders Luger with a birthday today as well. Happy birthday to Allison. They are on the list for today. We have 2 anniversaries. Dave and Beth Lutz were celebrating, and Philip and Corey Sanchez, number 25 for them. So happy anniversary to those 2 couples, and happy birthday to the others. It is the Birthday Club. Got a birthday? Go to our webpage at WRGG.org. Fill out the information there. You will get your name, your anniversary, or whatever you submit on the air right here at 93.7 WRGG. All right, let's go back. Review. Stupid is, stupid does. Pick a winner for today. Women accused of dine and dash left their names, phone numbers on the wait list. Number 2, robber should have taken a cab, but instead he took a bus. Like you said, it stops like every 2 blocks. Oh, my. Number 3, thief gets only left shoes. Number 4, man develops fungal lung infection from sock smelling habit. And number 5, con man caught after a fake funeral because he tried to get away with some thievery and conning of other women. And,
I like how his dad was in on it.
Yeah, I know. His dad was in on it, too. And number 6, thieving cleaning lady learns a lesson. She took a firecracker instead of a candle. Can you imagine when she lit that thing? Bill, where's your thoughts process going on this
All
one?
right, well, here's what I've got. Of the ones that are truly stupid, the first 2 are the stupidest. I mean, you're leaving your name and number and you're planning on dining and dashing. I'm sure that wasn't a spontaneous decision.
Yes.
Now, the Swedish thief who got on the bus, I'm thinking perhaps his motivation was, hey, I'm just going to slip into the crowd.
Right.
They'll never think I got on a bus.
No, why a bus? Because only an idiot would get on a bus.
Now, the shoe thief, while the story turns out to be stupid, he didn't know.
No, he didn't.
In fact, it sounds like he didn't even know what he was stealing at all. The Chinese sock smeller ends up with a fungus? That's just weird. And it's stupid, too, but it's just weird.
Just weird.
And then the con man, I'm not sure if it's quite so. I think that's pretty elaborate. It's, you shouldn't be conning people to begin with.
Right.
And then, again, I go back to the whole thing with the lady with the candle that was actually a firecracker. She didn't know.
No.
So it's not like, if she had known that and took it home and lit it up.
She wouldn't have done it. You're
right.
So
I'm going to go with, of all of them, the one that's the stupidest is got to be the ladies who dined and dashed after leaving their names and numbers.
Stan Flenner agrees with you, and I agree with you. So it's unanimous so far today. Dine and dash. Yeah. What's your name and what's your number? And then
it's like we've heard all these stories about people who rob banks, but they write the note on the back of their own deposit slip.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just not very smart.
Yes, or the guy, and this has happened more than once, who cased the bank by opening an account,
Yeah.
but actually opened it in his own name.
Now, Chris Palladino liked the sock smeller.
It's more weird than
I think he's saying, what's wrong with that? No, not at all. We're going to take a break. News time of the hour, NBC Radio News. We're going to come back after the weather. Mike Ross joins us. We'll find out one of his favorite songs of all time. But that's not until we do the heavy stuff, man. That's all coming up right here. 93.7 WRGG.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Broadcasting around the world at WRGG.org and in southern Franklin County at 93.7. This is WRGG LP Greencastle.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump is weighing in on the suspect in the arson attack at the Pennsylvania governor's residence last weekend.
The attacker was not a fan of Trump. The attacker basically wasn't a fan of anybody. It's probably just a whack job. And certainly a thing like that cannot be allowed to happen.
The president made the comment to reporters Monday. Court documents reportedly state that the suspect, 38-year-old Cody Balmer, expressed hatred for the Democratic governor, Josh Shapiro. President of El Salvador says a mistakenly deported man will not be returned to the U.S. on his watch. Nayib Bukele had that to say while sitting next to President Trump in the Oval Office on Monday. Bukele said, "We're not very fond of releasing terrorists." The DOJ has admitted the man from Maryland should not have been sent to El Salvador because of an immigration judge's 2019 order barring him from being sent there. Your taxes are due today, but if you haven't even started or aren't done yet, there's still hope. More from Tammy Trujillo.
If you're in a crunch, you need to file for an extension. The key thing to keep in mind is to file your extension today, which will give you 6 more months. Taxpayers impacted by natural disasters in 12 states have automatic tax extensions to file and pay their 2024 taxes. Some extensions only apply to certain areas within those states, so the best bet is to check with the IRS. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
The Keystone Oil Pipeline is running again. The pipeline's operator stopped the system last week after a spill in North Dakota, but restarted things yesterday. An estimated 147,000 gallons of oil were spilled in the incident. On Wall Street, before the opening bell, U.S. stock futures are little changed. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
A leaking roof can cause major property damage, compromising the structure and ruining the building's contents. Harold Robinson Affordable Roofing can solve that problem with a professionally installed new roof. Harold Robinson has many years of experience installing roofs in our local communities. You may call 717-369-2938 for an appointment. Harold will meet with you and answer your questions, help you select the type of material you prefer, and give a free estimate to complete the project. Harold Robinson Affordable Roofing of Fort Loudon, 717-369-2938.
Right here in hometown Greencastle, you'll find a great one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat and delicious home-style deli items. Branded Meats and Deli, 102 South Anshan Way, features certified Angus beef, and they will cut steaks to your liking. Branded offers daily smoked meat specials. Their subs are made to your request. Always fresh, homemade salads, including macaroni, potato, cream slaw, and others. Looking for something for yourself for lunch or everything for that evening meal? You'll find it at Branded Meats, South Anshan Way, Greencastle. Open Mondays 8 a.m. till 3 p.m., Tuesday through Friday 8 a.m. till 6 p.m., Saturdays 8 till 4. Branded Meats, supporting community radio, WRGG. Do you have an aging loved one who needs a little or perhaps a lot of help in order to stay independently in their home? Heritage In-Home Care Services of Greencastle can provide the help you need at affordable rates. Heritage can provide assistance to medical appointments, personal assistance, or medication reminders. Help can be provided for grocery shopping, light housekeeping, and meal planning. If you're looking for companionship for your aging loved one when other responsibilities require your time, Heritage In-Home Care can provide that. They have been serving Greencastle and surrounding communities since 2006. Personalized attention is provided for your aging loved one's specific needs, giving you peace of mind, knowing that they can stay in their home with all the care they need. Heritage In-Home Care Services of Greencastle. You may obtain more information by calling 717-593-0242.
Join Pastor David Raleigh for humorous and insightful inspiration to biblical truths at 9:25 a.m. and 5:25 p.m. Monday through Friday. These moments of reflection are brought to you by the congregation of Otterbein United Brethren Church in Greencastle on WRGG.
WRGG weather.
Now the weather forecast for WRGG. Showers and thunderstorms today, dry weather tonight through Thursday. For today, windy with a chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, ending in the afternoon, then becoming partly cloudy, high around 60. West winds becoming 22 to 32 miles per hour with higher gusts. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, low around 40. West winds at 13 to 23 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy and breezy, high around 53. Wednesday night, clear, low around 35. And the outlook for Thursday, mostly sunny skies, high around 61. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
58 degrees. Hasn't moved up much since we started the show. Cloudy skies, but the sun is peeking through just a little bit. Humidity sitting at 61% right now. The record high for today, 85 degrees in 1960, second of 2 days from 1960. It was 22 on this date back in 1904 for the record low. 40 to 63 is your average temperatures for today, up at the top end of that scale. 6:32 is when the sun came up. It'll set tonight, 7:49. That'll give us 13 hours, 17 minutes of daylight. Again, 58 degrees. 93.7 WRGG.
WRGG 93.7 and on the web at WRGG.org. And now here is the morning show.
Welcome back. It is hour number 3 of the morning show on a Tuesday. To be specific, the third Tuesday of the month. That means Mike Ross joins us, as he always does on this date, and we're always glad to have him. We saw Mike a lot on Saturday out at the open house for the Franklin Veterinary Associates, and we learned that Mike's son-in-law is the main guy, man. He's the guy. He's the well, turn your mic on. He's the what's his title?
He is the principal owner of both the practice and the building.
Okay, very good. Yeah. So what a beautiful. We said this over and over again on Saturday, but what a beautiful facility and up to date, modern. That's and I guess it's just like everything else. You got to keep up to date with that stuff.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you're his practice would be, I mean, comparable to any physician,
right?
That you would know. I mean, you have to have all the technology, and when you walk around the building, you see things that you would recognize a lot of times.
Right. Yeah.
You went to the hospital.
Yeah. The one that one of the vendors that was there was a doctor from McConnellsburg that interested me because she did acupuncture on animals. I would not have thought that McConnellsburg would have been the hotbed for Western medicine on pets.
No. What I would always think, I would think of, now this is probably derogatory, but Fulton County, when your animal gets sick, he's in the cycle of life.
Yeah.
and they might accelerate it with a 22.
Yes, I think they might do that one. So, but the big question that remains after Saturday, Mike, is did you make it to Lizzie's?
I absolutely did.
Okay.
And Lizzie's is great. And Bill, you're going to be impressed. So we got seated, and the server came over, a very enthusiastic server, who was trying to sell the poutine sandwich.
Oh, nice.
Because
Nice.
the day before was Canada Day, apparently, and I didn't realize the ownership is Canadian.
I did not know that either. I'll have to make some connection with them.
So they were featuring a sandwich, and it was outstanding. Who would have ever thought?
Who would
have? Yes.
Well, you know what's going to happen now. Hey, hi, I'm Bill Gore. I'm Canadian, too.
Yeah, I'll be hanging out there. Yes, indeed.
What is the Canadian special rate here for us?
Bacon.
Yeah, bacon. But
what is Canadian bacon?
It's ham.
actually?
It's just ham?
It's ham. Yeah. It's just a cut of ham.
Why do you call it bacon?
Why not?
Why can't it be Canadian ham?
Yeah, really. Seems like it would maybe like truth in advertising.
Well, you notice you got a little testy there with you, Mike.
He did.
When you said
I saw that. I saw, but no.
I didn't name it.
No.
Again,
You get back down.
It's okay. We'll change the subject. I'll make a note. No more talk about Canadian bacon on the show.
But no, Lizzie's, I think, is one of those hidden gems in,
absolutely.
in Greencastle, and for the county, actually. But, because I think it will exceed your expectations.
Yes, it will.
Absolutely.
It will. I think Greencastle really is the per capita, the leader of ice cream stores in all the world. I don't know.
Probably.
There's 5 or 6 of them.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
5 or 6. At one time, I know we led the nation in per capita of car washes because they were building them left and right.
Goodness, yes.
Yeah, and now some of them have changed over, and like Antrim Honda, they used to have like a 8-bay thing down there. They don't use it anymore. There's other places, but gosh, you did not have to wait in line for a car wash in Greencastle.
And they should have incorporated the ice cream with the car wash.
Yeah, that would have been.
That could have
been much better.
It actually would be, wouldn't it?
Yes. Excellent. Yeah.
So
it's a key demographic.
I can't use like a power washer I can't. I have to go through the drive-through because for whatever reason, if I go to where you hold the sprayer,
right.
I can't control my body for like the next, literally for like the next couple of hours.
Mike's blowing up against the wall there on the pressure.
Like I shake it, like, oh man, this is too weird.
Well, you're getting old. I understand that.
Seriously, because I'm left-handed, so one time I'm like, I went to pick up a drink, and it was like all over.
You have to use both hands on those things.
Like, oh man,
yeah.
Like Joe Cocker up on stage.
Yeah. Good analogy.
Let me see here. Oh, we did the ice cream thing. We got that taken care of. Of course, the big news around Greencastle, because we'll get to the music later. But the big news around
Hocking.
Pardon me?
The Anchor Hocking decision to close. Yeah,
close Corning or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. What's and to be very honest, Greg, is I get. We understand that that's a difficult decision, but you have to communicate it. And what we saw, at least, and there seemed to be very little communication with the community as to what was taking place.
Right.
And at this point, based on what we've seen with the Warren notice, which they're required to do to notify the employees in the community if you're laying off 50 or more people.
Right.
But it will, at this point, it's targeted for permanent closure at the end of November of this year. That building is owned by Matrix Development.
Right.
And I'm assuming that they will be working actively to find a tenant. But that, it's interesting because Corning, and everybody, I think, locally still refers to it as Corning.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But that was originally developed in 1960.
Yes.
So you're looking at 65 years of continuous operation.
It employed a lot of people.
Employed a lot of people.
Yeah. They used to, I don't know if they still run 3 shifts, but they were at one time always running 3 shifts. They did that for a longest time. And I think there's 2 out there now. I've been told by an inside source, and I won't mention Chris's name, but he said that, they have always carried the load financially. They've always made money at that plant. It's not their fault. It's just the company is relocating it, and that's the plant they picked. So
I think it presumably
they're closing
it's
a couple,
a
actually.
business decision.
Yeah,
and I'm not sure what factors went into making that decision, but but obviously they've decided they're moving to Ohio, and some of the operation maybe to New York, but it affected not only the Greencastle plant but also the Charleroi plant in Washington County, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
So there are, and how we
I think they announced that one first.
How we got confirmation was there was an article in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette about the closure that also referenced that they would be closing Greencastle as well.
Yeah.
And again, it would have been helpful.
Yes.
And I'm not sure what I don't think there's anything we could have done about it. But what it will trigger is in the Department of Labor and Industry, there's a rapid response division whose job it is to go out and work with the employees and to some extent with the employer, to make sure that that the impacted workers will get all the resources that can be availed.
Right.
So,
and Matrix, by the way, owns the plant behind them.
Both of
both of those
behind.
places.
And they also own, if you go to exit 24 at Shippensburg, at the Fayette Street exit, if you see the Walmart building, the Amazon, they own that whole park.
That area as well.
Yeah, they own it, and they'll be developing more there. And the rumor is they'll be developing more in the Greencastle area. But I think their first priority will likely be to find a tenant for the Corning property.
Sure.
And they tend to be good to work with, don't they, Mike?
Yeah, they are, and they're good at what they do.
Yeah.
So and candidly, they have their own relationships with companies and
right.
And but again, I think but right now, I think especially with the tariff situation, I think there's a lot of wait and see as to facility needs and so on. But the expectation is there's going to be a renewed demand for warehouse space either later this year or next year.
Okay, that's good news. And here's the bottom line too: there are jobs out there,
right,
in this area,
right.
So I mean, you've talked about that almost every time you come on.
Yeah, I think other employers will be. In fact, I think it. I don't know what, if any, incentive Anchor Hocking has given to the local employees to keep them in place till the end of November.
Yeah.
Because I think for those who are seeking other opportunities, they'll be available.
And available now.
Right.
So,
right.
So they may go. So, that one, I think it's we understand things move and go, but I think just because 1960, it's a long time to be a big part of the community, and then all of a sudden it's going to be gone. So
you talk about being ahead of your time with the distribution center.
Yeah.
Only about 30 years ahead of their time.
At the time, and of course, Corning, New York was the main office for this, and we had I can name a few of the plant managers that traveled through and came through Greencastle, that ran the plant for a couple of years, then they get promoted up to Corning or wherever the case may be. But
I'm not going to lie, I'd rather be put in Greencastle than I would Corning.
Yeah.
It's better weather, better location.
I've been there. I wasn't overly impressed by it. We were up in Niagara Falls area, and I said, well, let's go see what Corning, New York's all about, because it's right here,
Right.
And it's like, okay, I agree with you, but so we'll see how that plays out. So that is the big one. Anything else of interest happening?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're in conversations. We're awaiting a decision, and I think I've talked about it before. FCADC, we own 20 acres in the Wharf Road Industrial Park between here and Waynesboro.
Right.
And we have applied for state funding to help excavate the 20 acres because it's very challenged. But if we're able to do that, we think we have some prospects that would be interested in locating there, which would be helpful. And again, it offsets the impact of Corning. It's not going to employ none of the folks we're talking to would employ hundreds of people,
right?
But they'd employ the 10s and 15s and 20s, that kind of thing.
What did Corral Corning / whatever it is? How many people work there? Do you know?
I can add them. I think it's a little over between 250 and 300 right now.
Okay.
Somewhere in that range,
Okay.
Which is significant.
It's significant.
Yeah, it really is. And they were much higher than that at one point.
Right.
But but I again, and then we're talking to some international prospects right now who are looking to establish a location here in Franklin County. And again, it would be more of a supply chain relationship with some manufacturers here, but those are the kinds of projects that we're very interested in,
right?
Because they're smaller, they help to diversify the economy, and I think that ultimately allows us to absorb, so we never get dependent on one industry sector or one company. So that's part of the goal.
Yeah, that and for the average Joe like me sitting around here thinking, you don't think about that diversity and the need for that because of things such as this when this happens. So it is very important.
The other thing, too, from the perspective of someone who works in supply chain, the more local business we can have to help out, like Grove and JLG and folks up in Shippensburg, the easier it is for us to get parts when we need them.
Yeah, and Bill, to that point,
there's a huge difference between something coming in Wisconsin or California.
And that's an ongoing challenge for us because we're running out of those locations where we can build the 15 or 20,000 square foot buildings to house the supplier for JLG or Volvo or Manitowoc or whatever. But the property that the township owns, right there on 11, right in front of adjacent to the World Kitchen or Corning facility. That is a potential location for another 15 or two 15,000 square foot buildings, that kind of thing.
Right. And I would think that Matrix would be interested in some of that property.
Well, they're building a road.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
No, I think they probably will be, but as I understand it, the township has they have to follow legally the municipal law on how to dispose of it. So I think it'll be, but Matrix would have the resources to step in and be the high bidder on all of it.
Yeah, I'm sure of that. So, all right. So Wall, we're no closer to that as you know.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, anxiously awaiting those types of things.
I mean, it'll be the subs are coming. The soft pretzels will be here.
All right.
You can't get better.
Well,
and there's always the rumor out there, and I'm not sure where it would go. Would be Royal Farms.
Yeah.
Apparently is looking at the area and.
Greencastle, when you say the area?
You mentioned that we were the ice cream capital. We might be the convenience store capital.
We could be.
Of the world.
We could be. Yeah.
Three sheets in this town.
I mean,
yeah. Well, as I always say, like today, a little windy out there. We're 3 sheets in the wind.
No, but that's
sorry.
So and then
it doesn't get any better, Mike.
Then you throw in the Dollar Generals. Which also serve as convenience stores.
Yeah. They are, in a sense.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, they don't have them made to order, MTOs or whatever the case may be. But
man, I'll tell you what. I hope that their model works well into the future, because if not, man, we're going to have a lot of Italian restaurants. A lot.
You are absolutely right, because there is a lot of those buildings. I mean, we have an empty one now in Greencastle as they open up the new DG Market, as they're called, a little bigger, a little more,
and it is open.
Yeah, it is open. Yeah, that was. What I want to say, you just didn't know. You saw the only reason I know it's open is because there's cars parked there and people were walking in and out.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe they want to be a surprise. I don't know, but I don't know how that is.
It's a really soft opening.
It's a really soft opening.
That would be the Mikeys would have a soft opening.
Yeah, they would be.
By the way, you talk about Lee. That's another great.
Oh, it is.
You talk about an iconic. Restaurant. That is.
They have been here forever. And
very much involved in the community as well.
Both Mikey's and Lizzie's are proud underwriters of WRGG, and we thank them for that. But Mikey's has just been, and I know both of those, and both contribute great to the community. I know Mikey's does all the time, and it's those types of business that keep Greencastle going.
Well, I think they provided the ice cream the other day.
Yeah,
they did. That ice cream was
Yeah.
worth taking home.
And
then, yes,
did you get all the leftovers? Is that what?
No, we didn't actually. I don't know what happened to all the leftovers, but apparently we got excluded.
You go to an event in Greencastle where there's ice cream in those little dishes. It came from Mikey's.
It came from Mikey's. It came from.
And then
Mikey's.
Lizzie's has been so kind enough to let the Boy Scouts use their food truck last Old Home Week.
Yeah, and again this Old Home Week
as
yes,
well.
Yeah, and that's a big thing.
That's a big deal. Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
so we're very blessed. People that live in the community and they give to the community. Is we talk about that all the time. So we when we say shop local, and because they're the ones that give money back to us. And so
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what's going to be interesting, I think, in Greencastle, and I know you talked to Chris Ardinger and
yes,
and
indeed.
the like, but a lot of housing being developed, and I think that where the developers are ready to go.
This time, yeah. We, I've talked about this before with Chris and probably with you many times, but back when I first became superintendent, I would get reports from the township, this many plots are being developed, this many lots are being developed, and the figure at the time, it varied, but, we always said 0.6. For every house you have 0.6 kids coming in there, and it's like we're going to have to build another school district, but it's like it was going to double, and then the recession hit, which was good for that, and bad for other things. So, but now that's starting back up again, and that's going to be. I think actually Greencastle Antrim's in better shape to handle that because of the commercial development that has taken place so far. So.
No, I would agree. But I think. I think I was in a conversation with Dr. Hanks. I know I was in a conversation with her.
You think you were? It looked like her.
A couple of weeks ago, and I think the kindergarten enrollment is up significantly already. And again, I don't know if it's, and I think they were trying to assess whether the numbers are actually higher or whether folks had better access to registering, and they were registering more earlier than
usual. Because we always thought about after registration, there's always going to be 40 more kids come in. I think this year was an off year, and it was interesting because I read an article where this was the COVID year, and they thought this would be the big year of a lot of kids, but it wasn't the case all around. So down year enrollment, but now it's coming back up again, and with more housing coming in, it's just we'll have to wait and see.
But to that point, so what was your high school graduation?
My high school graduation back in 1973 was about 153, something like that.
So what is it?
It's close to 200 now. Yeah. So, now that when you say, oh, that's only 50 more kids, and it could be 220, it's been up to 250. So it varies back and forth. But that's 50 more kids. But that's just in one grade. You got to multiply that times 13. Right. So now you're talking about 750 more kids, which is a building. Right. So it is significant, those numbers as they go. So now
good job with the math there, Greg.
But
thank you.
But I do think if presumably if this housing has kicks off the way we think it's going to, I think this time it's going to be for real.
For real,
It's going to be impactful on the district.
Yes, well, it most certainly will be, and and now I got to ask this question: how many graduated in your class?
223.
223. Were you that big? I didn't realize that.
But I don't think it. I don't think it's fluctuated
at all.
At all.
Yeah. There's still 223.
Yeah.
It always amazed me. We went through a period of time where every graduating class was like 180, 181, 182, 180. How we do that? How do we plan that out? Is there some secret thing I don't know about? Yeah, you can have a kid this year. You can. So I never quite get
amazing.
that. Yeah. It was just working out that way, and now it fluctuates a little bit more up and down. So,
but what's always surprised me. Because the district I went to would be very comparable to Greencastle.
Yeah.
But it had the graduation numbers have not really fluctuated much.
That's amazing. Yeah, that is pretty. Is there a lot of growth?
There is.
Okay.
There is.
Yeah.
Well, I say a lot. I mean, but yeah, it's a lot of folks whose parents might work in Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, that's true.
Or down in the Reading area. would live in the Blue Mountain School District.
Yeah, that's true. So, real quick before we take a break here and come back and talk music, Mike at the Mic is your podcast.
Yes.
You put out one a week. Is that what it is?
About two a month.
Two a month. Okay.
And yesterday, so I'm going to give a little plug. We had the opportunity to interview two students, two 11th grade students, one and their cousins, interestingly. One goes to Shippensburg and is a student at the Career Tech, and the other one goes to James Buchanan, and she is studying. She wants to ultimately be a nurse practitioner, and when she went through her schedule, I don't know. Apparently, she has figured out how to put 26 hours in a day. Because it's like, oh man.
Yeah.
But it's great to get their perspective. They're both graduates of the Leadership Franklin County program.
Okay. Yeah.
And to hear their ideas and thoughts about what they're doing and so on.
Sure.
And I think it's it's reinforcement, because I think it's easy to be critical of every generation. The succeeding generation was never as good as we were.
No.
Okay, and that goes back to Jesus' time.
It does.
So-
It does.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And yet we're the we were sort of the ones responsible for bringing them up. So if they're
Right.
worse, it's our fault.
Great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah.
But I think what you find is there are some very motivated and very bright young people out there.
Very good.
And it's nice to see that.
Yeah,
And so
always.
and when you look at and I was happy to find out that her name is Kimber, and that Kimber is going into healthcare, because I'm always interested in who wants to be a nurse, because I'm going to need one.
Yeah. That's coming quick.
You know?
That's coming quick. Yes.
Her cousin Keegan is going to be a machinist, and we need machinists.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's going to have a great career, but he's not going to be able to help me. Really.
No, not at all. Well, maybe he can grind a new knee for you or something like that on a machine. So.
But he's excited. And
so how do I listen to this podcast
you
again?
can go to wherever we have a YouTube with it, FCADC.
Nice.
But if you go to our website, just Google
You'll find
FCADC,
it.
you will find it. But it's on all the podcast platforms.
Yeah, very good.
Spotify and
Mike on the Mic.
Yep. But it's fun, and the probability of this happening is slim and slim. I won't say none, but slim.
Slim.
But we've reached out to see if we can get John Fetterman to come in.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That would
be cool.
That's
yeah.
great.
So
that'd be a great conversation.
Yes, it would.
So go with me on this one, Mike. Go with me.
Well, what's interesting?
Don't be too quick to respond, Mike.
Because there are like maybe 7 or 8 people who voted for him in this county. but I think he's an interesting guy at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
And I have to tell you, his staff has been incredibly responsive.
Oh, good.
To not only FCADC, but to everybody in this area.
Yeah, that's good to know.
And it has been, and and he went into that coma, and he came out as a card-carrying, supporter, of card-carrying Jewish Republican.
Yeah, which is
right.
Yeah. How's that happen? I don't know, but I think it was the coma that did that. So
it was incoherent when the way that he came out. And he could recite the Torah. What is it?
Yeah,
the Torah, not the Quran.
No. That'd be the Torah. Yes.
We very seldom talk religion here, and this is why.
But it's good to get the key books.
This is why we do this. We'll be back with Mike Ross. First, a little look at local news, local sports, and local weather. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Morning Show on WRGG.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Broadcasting from the Wade Lynn Studios high above the broadcast house in downtown Greencastle. We are 93.7 WRGG LP Greencastle.
From high atop Broadcast House in downtown Greencastle, here's a look at WRGG's local news with Scott Douglas.
Good morning. This coming in overnight. Greencastle Borough Police warning you about a driveway seal coating scam. They're looking for two people, a man who they describe as thin and a blonde-haired woman, in connection with the scam. They also released a photo of the suspect's vehicle. You can see that on the Greencastle Police Department's Facebook page. It's a red Chevrolet pickup truck. The scammers are going door to door offering discounted driveway seal coating. Police say they claim to offer a great deal, but they're using second-rate materials. Then they jack the price up by thousands over the original price once the job is done. Be aware. In other news, the Waynesboro Hospital Auxiliary has awarded 5 health career scholarships to high school seniors from Waynesboro Area Senior High School and Greencastle Antrim High School, and 1 Pearl E. Warren Nursing Scholarship to an employee at WellSpan Waynesboro Hospital. The students were selected on the basis of their educational intent, scholastic achievement, general character, service activities, and the need for financial assistance. The student scholarships range from $3,000 to $10,000. The employee scholarship is for $5,000. Here's an update now on that shooting in Quincy Township on Sunday night. Pennsylvania State Police say Jack Edward Kugler allegedly shot his neighbor in the leg and shot at the neighbor's 9-year-old autistic son during an argument over lawn mowing at a home on the Menser Gap Road near Tomstown. The injured man was flown to York Hospital for treatment of 2 gunshot wounds. Kugler told police he fired shots in the air but not at his neighbors. He is charged with attempted homicide and other offenses. PennDOT's going to be starting a resurfacing project on I-81 in Antrim Township. It's scheduled to start Tuesday, April 22nd. It extends from the Maryland state line to mile marker 6 in Greencastle. Weather permitting, it begins this coming Tuesday. The contractor will work overnight from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the southbound lanes. Those lanes will be restricted until the project is complete in July of 2027. And in Vidalia, Georgia, it's packing and shipping day. Those sweet Vidalia onions will be on their way soon. Scott Douglas, 93.7 WRGG.
Franklin Hospice, a nonprofit provider of hospice care and end-of-life services, has been licensed in Pennsylvania and is now open to serve patients and their families. This organization also operates Hospice of Washington County, which has built a trusted reputation of quality caring for over 40 years. The team at Franklin Hospice consists of nurses, social workers, CNAs, chaplains, volunteers, and bereavement staff. They will work with the hospice physician and the patient's primary physician to offer a number of services, including managing the patient's pain and symptoms, assisting the patient with the emotional, psychological, and spiritual effects of dying, providing needed medications, supplies, and equipment, coaching the family and caregivers how to care for the patient, and providing bereavement care and counseling to surviving family and friends. Franklin Hospice is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to provide support. For more information, call 717-504-3465 or visit franklinhospice.org, a nonprofit organization.
There was a time when every small town had several local family-owned auto dealerships. Greencastle still has one. Antrim Way Honda, 200 South Antrim Way, just off exit 3 of I-81. Home to a large selection of pre-owned vehicles. Something for every budget. All pre-owned vehicles are put through a multi-point inspection. When you drive away, you'll know your ride is safe and dependable. You may check out their inventory online at antrimhonda.com. And while your vehicle is being professionally serviced, you can relax with some great refreshments in the cafe at Antrim Way. Antrim Way Honda, a much appreciated supporter of community radio, WRGG.
Here's a look at local sports with John Freeman.
The Blue Devil softball team powers their way to a victory over a Colonial Division rival. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports. Brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community. Home runs from Caroline Logsdon and Meadow Gambacurta lead the Blue Devils to an 8-3 victory on the road over Northern York yesterday. Trailing 1-0 in the third inning, Logsdon hit a 2-run homer to give Greencastle the lead for good. The Blue Devils scored 3 runs in the 5th and 3 more in the 6th when Meadow Gambacurta hit her 4th home run of the year, a 3-run shot to put the Blue Devils up 8-3. Greencastle improves its record to 8-1 on the season, a perfect 6-0 in the Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division. Meanwhile, the Blue Devil baseball team came out on the short end of a 2-1 score yesterday to Northern York. Northern scored the game-winning run on a sacrifice bunt in the 7th inning. The loss ends a 3-game winning streak for the Blue Devils as they fall to 5-3 on the season, 4-2 in the Mid-Penn Conference Colonial Division. Elvin Robles had 2 hits in the game for Greencastle in a losing effort. Both the Blue Devil baseball and softball teams will be back in action later this afternoon. The girls will be at home hosting West Perry, with first pitch for that game scheduled for 4 p.m. The game will be broadcast live on 93.7 FM, WRGG, and streaming at midpennbroadcasting.com, beginning with the pregame show around 3:45. Meanwhile, the baseball team will also be in action as they make the long trip to Elliotsburg to face West Perry in a game scheduled to get underway at 4:30. That's a look at sports for a Tuesday. Have a great day, everyone. I'm John Freeman reporting for WRGG Sports, brought to you by the John Allison Public House, 155 South Antrim Way in Greencastle, involved in your local community.
Olympia Candy Kitchen is your Easter shopping spot. This is Tony Pananis, and I'm excited for Easter. Olympia has peanut butter eggs, foiled Easter chocolates, and jelly beans galore. We have dozens of different molded chocolate figures and colorful Easter gummies too. Jellycat plush, toys, books, and puzzles. Olympia Candy Kitchen in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, and olympiacandy.net. Quality makes the Olympia tradition that much better.
Olympia Candy Kitchen, another fine sponsor of the programming of WRGG.
WRGG weather. Now the weather forecast for WRGG. Showers and thunderstorms today, dry weather tonight through Thursday. For today, windy with a chance of scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms, ending in the afternoon, then becoming partly cloudy, high around 60. West winds becoming 22 to 32 miles per hour with higher gusts. Tonight, partly cloudy and breezy, low around 40. West winds at 13 to 23 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy and breezy, high around 53. Wednesday night, clear, low around 35. And the outlook for Thursday, mostly sunny skies, high around 61. For WRGG, I'm nowcast meteorologist Jim Vaughn.
59 degrees. We're getting there, close to 60. Cloudy skies still. Humidity still at 69%. Record high for today, 85. 1960 was the year. 1904, the record low, 22. Average temperatures for today between 40 and 63 degrees. 6:32 in the a.m. is what time the sun came up. 7:49 in the p.m. and 13 hours and 17 minutes of daylight for us today. 59 degrees. I'm chuckling because Mike Ross is here. And last Saturday, he was being interviewed by Bill. And I don't know that he knew that I had my headphones on and I could listen to everything he was saying. And I think the words were, like Hoover finally found something he can do, or something like that. I don't know what.
He's better at this than he's been at anything he's done before.
Yeah. I guess I should take that as a compliment, but I don't know. It struggles. So I said, "Can I meet Chad Reichert?" He's there. I've never met Chad, but I knew his grandfather. And Mike says, "Sure, come here." Chad, this was at one time arguably the number 6 superintendent in the county. There's only 6 schools in the county.
Well, you're in the top 10.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he actually ranked you at 6. Normally, he says you were one of the 6 best.
Yeah. He's put me down now. I don't know what it is, but so earlier today, Mike, we do this thing on Tuesday now. We switch it up, but it's our top 10 songs of all time. And so, for instance, Bill had
today. My number 8 was Kathy's Clown by the Everly Brothers.
Yeah,
wow.
That great song. Chris Palladino, who is a rock and roll guy, surprised me with the Left Bank and
Walk Away Renee.
Jason Kabler, he had a song. Something about streets. It was from a different artist that I never heard of. And mine was Billy.
These Streets by Paolo Nutini.
Yeah, never heard of it, but it was a great song. And mine was my number 8, Billy Vera and the Beaters, At This Moment. From I just love everything about that. So, if you had to pick your top 3 songs of all time, Do you know what they would be?
I would start. This probably goes back to like 1973. It would be O.C. Smith. God did make
Little Green Apples. Well, is that one of your favorite songs?
And then they got Sammy Davis Jr. singing
Candyman.
And Captain and Tennille doing Love Will Bring Us Together.
Well, yeah.
But
did it?
No.
And they broke up, ironically. And Sammy Davis Jr. sounds like he should be in a white panel van when he sings that.
It's a really weird.
The top.
It's playing from that van down there.
and for the record, O.C. Smith is no Russ. Never mind.
Never mind.
It's interesting because I think it's easy to go to some of the three that get identified a lot in. I mean, there's always Stairway to Heaven.
Right.
There's Hotel California.
Right.
There's Freebird. That always get. But I think
like the anthems, more or less, that are out there.
Interesting, and I think it's where you are in your life,
right?
Sometimes, and how songs influence. I think because I think Carole King's "You're So Far Away" is a great song. Great song. I think interestingly, I was listening, and you would, and I defer to you for this. I was listening a lot of the Carly Simon songs early. The drumming on those songs, to me, is remarkable.
Yeah, they are. It really is.
And I mean, and you don't have John Bonham banging away.
But not banging away, but it's just like there's so many great songs that she has done. I think because I'm going to say this the wrong way, but the female aspect of it may put her down the charts more than she should be.
Right.
And I don't mean to say it. I do mean to say it. If she's written some great songs, recorded some great songs. Tapestry, one of the greatest albums.
Tapestry, it's got. I think it's in the top 10 albums.
Has to be, yeah. So,
and I mean, since she's written so many songs, but A Day in the Life for the Beatles is a great song. But it may be either Love Me Do or I Want to Hold Your Hand, because those songs that created the craze.
Interesting you say that, because I Want to Hold Your Hand is on my list, on down the list, because that's what, and I don't know what I listened to before. I really don't know what I was listening to, but when I got that record and put it on, I instantly became a rock and roll, a Beatles fan from that record. So that has to be one of my top songs because of what it did for me. So you're right.
I think Baba O'Reilly is a great song.
That's a phenomenal song. Absolutely.
I think that Love Reigns Over Me by The Who is a great song. And I think just there's a live version of Bruce Springsteen, The Land of Hopes and Dreams. I think it is just absolutely great. I think Billy Joel might be the greatest lyricist of his time.
Can't argue that.
I think he captures everything. And
I know you're one of the things that you like, just from talking with you so far in these last couple. I don't know how long we've been doing this, but you like the storytellers.
I do.
Yeah, you like the storytellers.
I think when you listen to Billy Joel's "Good Night Saigon," I think he captures the Vietnam War in about 4.5 minutes. Something like that.
And he captured the world, and we didn't start the fire.
Right.
And how you do that?
Right.
But a very impressive. Just really was, and New York State of. I mean, there's so many songs.
Then I listened to Elton John, "Madman Across the Water," which is just, to me, is a great song. So you have guys and bands that have done. I think Pearl Jam, "Better Man" is a great song. Whether it's the greatest song ever, it's not.
Right, but
it's.
And those lists that come out there are just like ours, opinions.
Right.
From somebody out there. You can never really judge the greatest song. I mean, we did pick. We had to pick our worst song ever.
It might be Little Green Apples.
Well, it could have been, but it wasn't. No.
Hey, the Roger Miller version is phenomenal.
But 3 out of 4 of us, without consulting, picked the same song as the worst song in the rock and roll era.
MacArthur Park.
Richard Harris.
Harris, yes.
Because one, we didn't understand why they didn't just bring the doggone cake in from the rain. It could have solved all the problems. They left it out there.
And it's hard to believe Jimmy Webb wrote that song.
Yeah.
When you get it like a Shakespearean actor.
Yes,
right, exactly.
doing it.
Right,
yes.
right. And a great actor, too.
Yeah.
And the fact it goes on forever.
Oh.
It has that pretentious sort of orchestral thing in the middle of it.
Yeah. 7-minute song.
Yes,
We weren't big fans of that one. No. But and again, I think I agree with you wholeheartedly where it just depends on.
I think you get the Ecology song by Marvin Gaye, which is a great song.
Yeah.
And he
what's going on?
Yeah. I mean, with the message and everything that they came across in those times. But yeah, just it amazes me to a certain degree that we're still writing songs, because to me, you would think that we ran out of
I mean,
ideas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole catalog of Neil Young songs that I think would be great.
Harvest Moon.
Well, that'd be
a
one.
Beautiful song.
And Crosby, Stills and Nash, and Young.
Yeah.
And again, if you're trying to capture it in a moment, I mean, how do you capture the protest movement better than Ohio?
Oh, right, really. 10 soldiers in Nixon's army.
Yeah. I mean,
that was
to me, that whole era. I mean, because I was looking I would say 1967 to 71, that 5-year period inclusive, because you were in the midst of the civil rights movement.
Right.
You're in the midst of the Vietnam War, and all the social change that was occurring in the country.
Right.
And you got these literally kids that are 20, 21 years old who are capturing it in song. And it's like
Barry McGuire.
It's like where did it come from?
Right.
I mean, that you can articulate it in a way that, and again, 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, and
you
it
got
resonates.
it. It's
And
right
not
there.
only you got the you're capturing it lyrically, but you're also capturing it musically, and it's like, well, it's like, this is unbelievable. But if I was Irish, Sunday Bloody Sunday might be.
It depends on
Yep.
But you were talking about Ohio from that era. That was the first song I got. Yeah, what I mean is, wait a minute, I know what they're saying here. Before I sing along to all the songs or whatever the case may be, and not really look at what the meaning was, but all of a sudden this one goes, I get this, and that sticks in the head. That sticks in my head, and that reference point from that. So. Yeah, great song with that one. Just I guess, and for me, it could change tomorrow too. What are my favorite songs are?
I mean,
a different point in your life.
And candidly, it's hard to get better than Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like this is unbelievable.
Every high school dance ended with it.
It did.
House of the Rising Sun.
Another great one.
Another one. Well, the one I didn't like was at the high school dance is Let It Be, because it was a long song, and I'm tired dancing with that person.
But you got like Color My World, which would have been, and if you 25 or 6 to 4 is one of the great songs.
That's my next week's song.
Well, you're a huge Chicago fan.
Yeah.
But I think that, and I think we talked about it before. I think Terry Kaffner gets typically not mentioned in the great guitarist of all time.
Yes.
And he was.
Absolutely.
Because there's something that a lot of them didn't like about the horn bands. They didn't like the horns. It's not a rock and roll band. It has horns in it. Well,
that's the most common thing about Chicago.
And with Chicago, it was, it had the horns. It was a slightly bigger band. And they didn't, I mean, they were like a unit that didn't feature.
Right.
This wasn't,
you didn't get a trumpet.
He didn't have a front man and a band behind him.
Exactly. But I think, and the Allman Brothers did some great. I mean, musically, that was a very gifted band.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, they were
in everything that they did. So to pick, I think it's really hard to identify. I mean, just my imagination by the Temptation.
You're naming some great songs.
That jumps out. And I think Crimson and Clover is a great song.
Tommy James and Shondells. Absolutely. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
They absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame. They did a lot of good stuff.
Oh, my goodness.
I just watched a documentary the other night on the Hollies.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I'm not. They did a lot of good stuff. I'm not sure they're rock and roll hall. They are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not sure they're. If Tommy James and Shondells aren't in, they shouldn't be in.
Right.
Tommy got out of the Mafia in time for not to be into that one. So. You ever read his book?
Oh yeah, it wasn't him. It was the record company.
It was a record company. It was owned by the Mafia. He didn't know it. And suddenly he's in the Mafia. So
but it actually worked to his advantage though, because it got him all sorts of bookings.
Yeah.
And the other thing was they didn't really care about what he produced, so he was free to make whatever records he wanted as long as they made money. They didn't care.
So another one that I think is a great song is the Jimi Hendrix version of All Along the Watchtower.
Bob Dylan song.
It's and Bob Dylan.
He does a great job with it.
Yeah, he might have Blowing in the Wind might be might be up there.
It might be up there. Answer, my friends, is blowing in the wind.
Rolling Stones, a great song.
I don't. But when I do that, when I do my Dylan,
how about Satisfaction by the Stones?
I was just going to mention that one of the greatest guitar riffs of all time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that he dreamt about.
Yeah, it came to him in a dream, and then he didn't even realize he recorded in his sleep.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of things.
Or
Keith
drunken
Richards didn't
stupor,
realize.
perhaps, maybe, I don't know.
But you look at the Beatles, you look at the Rolling Stones, you look at Led Zeppelin, the Who, a lot of, and the Eagles. Pick your band.
Yeah.
I mean, their catalog is such that I mean, you look at some of the stuff that Simon and Garfunkel did.
Right. So you can pick 10 favorite Stone songs, 10 favorite Who songs, 10 favorite Eagles songs, and still have room to go.
But I mean, so when I look at, as I said, I think Carole King's Tapestry is and again, I think there are songs on there that are incredible. I mean, just absolutely incredible. I think James Taylor did a lot of good stuff. I'm a big James Taylor fan, and so
he's coming somewhere because I keep getting ads popping up on my phone, so I'm not sure where.
But I mean, for a lot of people, Fire and Rain is one of the great
songs. Great song.
It's actually
and you've got a friend.
And the neat thing is,
that's the Carole King song.
The Carole King song, which he actually wrote,
right?
Because in Fire and Rain, he talks about how he looked for a friend, didn't have one.
Yeah.
So she wrote that in response to that. The song actually, it's 3 different stories he's telling. The first is about a friend of his who committed suicide when he was in London making his first record, and his friends didn't want him to know. Because they didn't want him to upset his chance at stardom.
Right.
So he found out 6 months later. And this was like a girl he grew up with.
Yeah.
The second part is all about the making of the music business and what it did to him in terms of the excesses it led to. And the third part was dealing with all of his sadness and depression that was building up as a result of all that.
Yeah.
And yet he weaves it all into one song.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I've seen Fire and I've seen Rain.
Yes, yeah.
And then you get to bands like Cream.
Yeah.
And, White Room's a pretty
my goodness,
iconic song.
And Queen.
Yeah, and Queen. I mean,
if
We Are the Champions may be, and I know Bohemian Rhapsody and all that, but We Are the Champions get, universal play everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
In every country, I think.
Yes. At every ball game.
Yeah. But I mean, then you take a song like Imagine by John Lennon. Where's that rank? Or Yesterday. That gets pretty high ranking.
And it's a song everybody can relate to.
Yeah. I mean, and yesterday you talk about Satisfaction coming in a dream. I think yesterday came to Paul McCartney similarly.
Right.
Because apparently what he did is, like he came up with this, then he started calling everybody to say, like, did I come up with this, or am I like repeating something?
Something I heard.
That was George Harrison sometimes.
I think he got in trouble for that. My sweet Lord.
Yes, he did.
He's so fine. My sweet Lord, he's so fine. It would have worked. I don't know. Dave Kipp is coming up in just a few minutes. Dave, what's your favorite song of all time?
Well, I don't know. There's so many. I can't say that I have a favorite. There's so many good ones. You guys just listed the whole 60s, 70s catalog. And they're all your favorites, right?
Yeah, they are.
Well, one artist I was going to mention, and I don't hear him played much at all, I play him once in a while, was Harry Chapin.
Yes,
my God, yeah.
Harry Chapin. We have Taxi in our library.
Yeah.
And if you listen to that, what an awesome story it tells.
Yes, indeed.
And you're right. These guys take these lyrics and somehow they piece them all together. They match, they work, they flow, and it's just awesome to hear the talent that they have.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I think Harry Chapin is one of the guys, and Gordon Lightfoot is a great storyteller.
Well, you know when he did the
wreck of
the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, I had read that was my mystery oldie one time way back, and historians say his lyrics are very accurate to the actual event that occurred, and he put it all together.
Yep.
And an interesting thing is, after he heard about some of the research and got into the actual sinking, he changed some of the lyrics to better suit what actually happened.
Right? Yeah. But just amazing.
It is.
But,
Mike, where are you heading this morning?
I'm headed to Cowan's Gap later this morning for an Environthon, which is where high schoolers, middle schoolers, and high schoolers from various school districts in Franklin and Fulton County. They go up and they've done research, and it's a competition.
Oh, okay.
Where they get evaluated on some observations and tests that they take and so on. And it's very cool to see these kids who are pursuing I think a future career as conservationists.
Are you an evaluator?
Yeah, I was going to say, are you judging or something?
No. I'm privileged enough. I'm on the Conservation District Board, and I'm dumb enough to go up, so I get to hand out awards.
I don't know what this is for, but here you go.
He's going for the Mikey's ice cream.
Oh my God! Yeah, no. And again, it's always. I mentioned, I interviewed the two students yesterday, and it's so. When I listen to these kids, and then I compare it to my own academic career, it's like,
you know,
it's like.
Don't say another word,
no,
Mike.
I'm just like, I don't know how I got out of high school. I don't know how I got out of ninth grade.
A story I experienced recently was I had a visit up to Hershey for a consultation, neurosurgery, and I knew that there was a Dr. Robert Harbaugh who was involved with that department at Hershey Medical Center, and so when I talked to this doctor, I asked if he knew a Dr. Robert Harbaugh. He got a big grin on his face. His eyes lit up. He said, yeah. I said, he just stepped down as the head of neurosurgery here at Hershey Medical Center. And now he's on a board, some overarching board for the whole medical center. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, well, I knew he was up here somewhere. Bob and I were classmates in high school. Now, tell me how I got in the same section as somebody like that.
No, I don't know. See, I have a friend who's an orthopedic surgeon who graduated a year behind me. I would never go to him because I knew he was like in high
school. We've all had those moments where you hear somebody from your high school who's like a doctor, lawyer, like, how?
Yeah. Well, I want to take that one step farther.
I'm sure nobody calls him Bob anymore, but that's
what
he was.
You can call him Bob.
Well,
he was. He never studied.
So,
he aced everything.
He didn't have to.
Right.
Dave told me that story, and a big grin came on my face because when I had my brain aneurysm, he was my doctor. That same guy. Yeah. What a small world. Yeah. What a small world.
It is a small world.
Yeah. So I appreciate all he did for that one. So, Mike, is always a pleasure.
This is my favorite hour.
I know. Don't put those back on a minute. Because as we go out,
little red apples,
little green apples. Happy birthday to Allison Marie Sanders Luger, Bria, Jay Sprague, Brock Bricker, Joe Amsley, Blaine Beam, Dave Swam, Kathy Brown. Happy anniversary to Dave and Beth Lutz. We're going to sing the chorus together. Philip and Corey Sanchez on an anniversary. That's the birthday club.
She reaches out. Like I said, this guy's no Roger Miller.
Yeah, there's no Roger Miller. And Candy Mountain joins us tomorrow here on the radio program, and we'll do our top 5 sports teams. One of Mike Ross's favorite songs right here. Get to the chorus.
And I look across the smiling lips.
All right.
That warm my heart and see my morning.
Soulful, though, I must say. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And if that's not loving me, then all I got to say. Oh, God didn't make the little green apples. It don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime.
That's enough of that.
I'll tell you what.
There's no such thing.
My time for us.
I took my headphones off and was just listening to what was in the studio here.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that ever again. Don't do that.
Yeah, I broke my promise to my family I'd never sing on the show.
We're going to... News is next. Dave Kipp is next.
All right.
Talk to you tomorrow.
93.7 WRGG. With news and weather together. Coming up next.
Broadcasting from the Wade Lynn Studios, we are WRGG LP Greencastle.